Hello. Hello and welcome to Story Mode, another variety channel here on YouTube. Thank you so much for stopping by and taking a gander at the stream. Hello, my friend Kirsten in the live chat. Thank you for being here. Welcome. Happy Friday. And hello to all the VOD watchers who are going to catch this stream after I am live as a recording. I appreciate you coming back and checking out the stream. I get most of my views from you guys coming back to check me out after I have been live, so I really, really appreciate it. I'm going to jump right into some disclaimers about tonight. So if you guys saw in my community tab, and I highly, highly recommend you guys click the bell to get notifications from my community tab, because you will get good information like, hey, I'm sick today, so I can't stream, which is what happened last Monday. Guys, right at the top of my vacation for Thanksgiving week, I got sick, of course. And so I canceled Monday's stream, and I did post it the day of in the community tab. So hopefully everybody saw it and nobody was devastated and unaware of what was going on. But because colds are real cute and fun, the cough is the last thing to go. It's the last thing that you can get rid of. So I feel fine, but talking... of all things, talking is still triggering kind of that dry hacking cough. So disclaimer for tonight's stream. First of all, I have cough drops on hand. I have a bottle of water on hand, tissues, and a mute button for my microphone. So if I go into just a fit of coughing, I can mute it. But I may stop early. This is an experiment. I might stop the stream early if I just start coughing like crazy and I can't get sentences out for more reasons than the usual ones. If I start to suffer, I will cut the stream off early. So just some disclaimers on the front. I am still dealing with the cough. I feel fine, but I was sick this week and I still have the stupid cough. So if it becomes an issue, I will go ahead and stop the stream early. But I wanted to try. I wanted to get through this, and I wanted to be here for you guys at least once this week. So anyway, we are here, and it's super exciting. And best bet that I will tell you off if you push more than you should. I know Kirst is here to keep me on on the straight and narrow. I think Kirst's biggest concern is that I will make myself sick again if I indulge too much. But yeah, it's been the weirdest cold. I had one day where I just stayed in bed early on. I think it was Monday, actually. Sunday? I think it was Sunday. And, I felt a little gross, and I was just like, you know what, I'm just going to stay in bed. But it never got bad. It never got super bad. No, fever, no aches, body aches, none of that stuff. It's in my throat. It started in my throat. It has stayed in my throat, and it's just been throat and chest congestion and a little bit of stuff in my nose, like when you first wake up in the morning, right? So anyways, too many details. You guys know what colds are like, and that's all it was. It was just a cold. But it's funny because it's like, I don't know if it's worse to feel physically fine and capable of doing things, but not be able to talk and engage and breathe really well, or to just be completely laid out in misery and actually sick. It's weird because it's am I sick or am I not sick? So at least I was able to do a lot of other productive things. I still was able to handle my chores and do what I needed to do. And I do have some good news to share in our next segment. But yeah, there's stuff's going on and things are happening, but I'm just hampered just that much that life is a little hard. But not so much that I just have to tap out. And I don't know which is worse. It's if I'm going to be sick, let me just be sick. If I got to deal with this, just let me be fine. So I don't know. Well, it is what it is. I'd rather get fully sick than the peripheral stuff. Yeah, I don't know at the end of the day. Because the last time I was properly sick, I had the flu. And I had type A, which is the more aggressive strain of it. And it was awful. So I'm I don't know. That's too close to my last flu. But anyways, so yeah, tonight's stream might be a little wonky, but I definitely wanted to give it a go and see if we could get some things accomplished tonight. So with all of that being said, you guys tell me something good. Kirst, tell me something good. If you guys are catching the stream as a recording after I have gone offline, please drop a comment. I've gotten a lot of comments lately, and they're so fun. I really appreciate having comments, interaction, engagement outside of the live stream. So please drop a comment. If you were not here live to tell me in the chat something good, please drop a comment and tell me something good. Let me know what's going on with you. Chris has an actual something good today. I'm so excited to hear about it. Well, I have a few, but my something good, the biggest one is that I got a new job, officially offered, accepted the offer, kind of went through the whole thing. I've been casually kind of looking. I've needed to make a little more money for a while, but I love my job. So I've been not aggressively looking for something new, but just knowing that like at some point I was really going to have to make a transition. So anyways, this great opportunity popped up, and it's good money and it's good benefits and it's a good schedule, and it's a schedule that facilitates live streaming. So, so that's good. But yeah, so I got this new job, and it's gonna pay me significantly more than my current job does. It's also gonna be more consistent hourly, and as my sister said, I am back in the world of the bean juice, and she means coffee bean juice. So I am going back to what is the word I want to use? I hate when I can't find words. But basically, like, I love coffee and I love making coffee, and I have been a barista multiple times through my career, my illustrious career. And Starbucks, love them or hate them, controversial or not, I've worked for Starbucks primarily in multiple scenarios, company stores, licensed stores, so on and so forth. So I am going to be serving Starbucks coffee again, and so I'm going back to a place that's very me and something that I love to do, and I get to be a little bit of like my own boss of my own space. I'm gonna still be working mostly on my own, which I actually prefer because I'm an introvert, so I can work in a team and I appreciate a good team, but I also really love just having my own space and doing my own thing. And that's really what this job is going to pan out to be. So in essence, I'm running a little like coffee food truck. It's not a food truck. It's a kiosk inside of a corporate building, but it's essentially that. It's just a small little coffee service station that serves Starbucks beverages and brewed coffee inside of a corporate building. So, and it's just going to be me and the people. So we'll see how it goes. I'm really nervous, but I am excited, and it's very good. It supports the direction that I want to go in my life. Financially and with like benefits and saving for retirement and all that boring adult stuff. So it's giving me the opportunity to move forward in that sense. And as nervous as I am, it is exciting to move into somewhat of a supervisory or management position, because I'd never want to be a manager like of people, but I'm going to be a manager of stuff. I'm going to be a manager of the whole kiosk and the function of the kiosk, inventory, ordering, shipments, and all of that. So it's like, okay, this is cool. Like I'm gonna be 40 very soon, believe it or not. I know I sound like a plucky little teenager, but I'm gonna be 40 for my next birthday, and I'm like, okay, it's time to be like some sort of a boss and invest in my retirement. It's about time to get that stuff done. So anyway, that's my really big something good. Curse got lovely feedback from 2 internal stakeholders for work that aren't my direct team. It's so nice to have my work recognized. Dang, stakeholders? Girl, I'm pumped for you. Thank you. Sometimes it's just easier to work by yourself. That way you know things will be done. Yeah, exactly. Curse, that's amazing. I'm so glad that you got recognition. You, of all people, deserve it. I know how hard you work and how much thought you put into a lot of the extra things that you do, like outside of your actual job description. Like, you put a lot of effort into things that you do to just kind of help out or fluff the edges to make things better for everybody. So that's awesome. You deserve it. Congratulations. So look at us just being successful in our in our work lives. But yeah, so I'm still on vacation, but Tuesday I go back into work, and I gotta give my notice. And my job that I've had as a delivery driver for 4 years has been amazing in most ways. Couple of things can be stressful. Every job has its little things, but yeah, I'm a little concerned. It's a family business. It's a small business model, and I hate to leave them, but excuse me, there it goes. But everything's gonna be fine. They're gonna be fine, and I'm gonna be fine, and the new job's gonna be great. So yeah, so that is something good for me. Another good thing is my car is finally getting repairs. I got into an extremely minor collision in a parking lot, like so minor, but I did get some bumps and dings and scratches on my car, which we just paid off, and feels like a new car. It's a few years old, but she might as well be new. Gotta pop a cough drop real quick. Okay, had a little coughing moment too, and I'm muted, so hopefully you didn't hear it. Thanks, Bestie. One of those things was one of the extras. They actually gifted me an Amazon gift card, which was so unexpected. I bought myself nice markers and a coloring book. Nice! Mandalas, how do you say it? Did you get the big ones? I love those. Oh gosh. Okay, so anyways, my car is currently in the shop getting fixed. Short answer. Short answer. So that's exciting. I've been waiting a really long time. Insurance is a challenge. I was gonna use a profanity, but I don't do that on this channel. Insurance is a challenge. So we finally got the car in. It's being taken care of right now, and I got an update today just to let me know like how they were going. So not done yet, and I don't know if I'll be able to pick it up when I wanted to, but it's in process, and that's a good thing. That's a good thing. All right. I didn't get one of the mandalas. I think it's mandala, but they're big clear ones like the plants and oh, plants would be cute. I should do flowers sometime. All right, you guys. Let's do this. And let's do this. We're going to talk about Durin's folk. We're going to talk about it. I have a lot to say. I'm going to keep it concise. I'm going to keep it factual. And hopefully very balanced, because I think there's really great things happening with this DLC, and I think there's really awful things happening with it. And we're going to talk about both. So anyways, it is available currently on all platforms. So if you want to pick up Return to Moria's Durin's Folk DLC, it is out now. You can get it. It's been out for a minute. And it's going to get perfected, and I'm excited for that day. So again, we're going to talk about it, so I won't harp about it too much, but just, hey, no, it's available. I gotta tell you, it's my job, literally. Okay, and there's a throne wish list for me, you guys. Now that Thanksgiving is officially behind us, I can lock and load into Christmas season. I'm so excited. I'm gonna decorate on Sunday, get my tree up, get everything going, get the air fresheners changed, get it smelling like Christmas and looking like Christmas and feeling like Christmas. So it is time to consider your Christmas gifts for yourself, for your family, for your friends, and maybe for your favorite streamer. I have a throne wish list, and everything on it is conducive to producing new and exciting content for you guys. So if you go to the link in the chat, thank you so much, Kirst. If you go to the link in the chat, you will see a couple of items, gaming consoles, games, accessories, things that, again, facilitate gaming and content. And all of that is just stuff I need for plans that I have for future channel excitement. So everything's also crowdfunded. So if you wanted to drop like $5 just to say, hey, thanks for the streams, or like, hey, I want more stuff, and like, I'll support that. 'Tis the season of giving. So if you guys are interested in supporting the channel at all, you can contribute as much as you are comfortable with, as much as is wise for you and your current financial state. And it's all on there and available to you. So appreciate any of that. We also have an alert on the channel. So if anyone in the live chat contributes, I should, in theory, these things don't always work, I should get an alert during live streams, so you will get the recognition for your contribution. So yeah, good stuff. Okay, so Throne, Durin's Folk. I feel so rusty. I've only missed one stream, but like I don't remember how to do this. So let's get me out of here. Let's get this game going. I don't think there's anything else we really need to talk about, so let's get into this DLC. Hello. Hello. And bear with me, guys. The talking is going to be weird tonight. I'll probably pause and like take little breaks or whatever. But again, still getting over a cold. Still have that cough, that irritation that's easily triggered. So anyways, we are back in Michael Delving. And friendly reminder for everybody, this is actually my original World Seed, my original game that I ever played and beat. It's cute to see them. They are cute. They are cute, I'll give you that. So this world is stocked with materials and items specific to Lionheart's Grand Warehouse and Armory. I haven't been following because I know it takes a long time, and I haven't been hounding anybody because I'm a nice person, but I'm pretty sure the warehouse does not have the new the new materials for the DLC yet. So outside of the newer stuff associated with this DLC, you still can access the warehouse servers and grab original materials from, like all the DLCs up to this one. So I think Beorn's Lodge was the last one. Did we get any special? I don't think we got any special materials for Beorn's Lodge, if I'm remembering correctly. But they're caught up all the way to Durin's Folk, so you can get a lot of good stuff. And listen, you're gonna need it, and we're gonna talk about how I don't think anyone could play the DLC in any kind of efficient way currently without going to the warehouse to supply your materials, because it's a challenge. Okay, so what are the things? I made notes. I want to stay on point here. Oh, thank you, Curse. Curse is also dropping not only the warehouse video link, but the RTM Discord server link in the chat. There is a dedicated server list channel. Excuse me. And under that channel, you can click onto Lionheart's Grand Warehouse and you'll find information. You can ask questions there. The host of the server is usually in there, as well as the creator available at times. So if you have questions, you want to say thank you for the incredible resource, by all means, you can check it out in the Return to Moria Discord server under the dedicated server list. Okay, so this is Michael Delving. This world seed is stocked with spicy items, as we like to call them. So this is not true to base game. I have all of the DLCs as well, so basically the game that we're playing right now, I have access to everything and then some. That I just want you guys to know that from the gate. So things are going to be a little bit easier for me than they may be for you if you haven't used the warehouse to gather your resources yet. Oh, guys, your food went bad. Okay, hold on. I got you. I got you. Let's feed the boys here. Bangers and mash. It's my go-to. It's my go-to. There's just 4 of them? Is this a person over here? This little dot? Hello? What is this dot? Usually it's a person. Is it a salvager? Is there somebody out in the field? Anyways. We'll make 4 for now. Those are the only people I see. I just went to the Discord to see if there's any message in the warehouse channel. The most recent post is Nightcrawler promoting your walkthrough video, and yes, confirmed new materials not available. Thank you. Yes, I did see that as well, Curse. You know, something else, thank you for saying that, because something else that popped into the Discord today was a dev update from Oisin. I don't actually know how to say his username, or their username. I don't even know if it's a male or someone who identifies. But someone from North Beach Games just posted today that specifics on some hot fixes that they are working on currently right now to deal with a lot of the bugs in the DLC. And that is the problem with this DLC more than anything else, is it is extremely buggy. Things are not working the way they're supposed to work, and it makes the entire progression extremely difficult right now. And that happens all the time. That's not something that, you know, I personally take to free range games and say like, oh, you guys did a terrible job and get it together and blah, blah, blah. This happens all of the time, and especially if you think about them trying to produce...
Yum! That hit the spot!
My chatty NPCs. They're trying to produce NPCs. Like, the technicality of this DLC is massive. Like, what they've actually brought to the game is very, very huge. And to make that compatible with every platform, and to roll them all out at the same time, and for people to be playing, especially for PC, for people to be playing on different machines with different capabilities, like, all of the things that they have to do to make this work for as many people as they need to make it work for is kind of insane, and it stresses me out, even though it's not my job. So anyways, it's perfectly normal for something like this to be a little rough at the beginning at launch, and it's unfortunate, but it happens. So I just want to stress to everybody, like, try not to be mad or upset because this is the nature of things sometimes. And they are working their butts off. I guarantee you they are working night and day to roll out fixes and get stuff done. And that being said as well, speaking of the RTM Discord, if you are playing the campaign expansion right now and you're having a lot of issues, feel free to submit a support ticket to the team, but make sure it's as detailed as possible. Check out the dev update channel and take a look at some of the directives that Claire has given us as far as how to submit the most useful and helpful support tickets. Because the devs are not going to know what we're all dealing with unless we let them know what we're dealing with. And when you really, really give them the details about what you're experiencing, what type of game, what console you're on. These guys are talking too much. They've got their ale and they're getting loud. There's a lot. The more details you can give them in a support ticket, basically, the easier they can identify what the problems actually are in the system and address them and figure out how to roll it out, you know, to everybody. So just a friendly reminder to support. I can never say this straight. To submit support tickets if you need to, because they actually encourage it. And so I know that they're working really, really hard on it. So anyways, you said Oshin just dropped an update about a patch that is coming in December. So they're working very hard to resolve a lot of these issues. Gosh. Okay. Irish, so in my head, it's Oshin. Yeah, strongly agree. It's a huge game as it is, and the update DLC was huge. Yeah, for sure. So I'm not mad. I'm disappointed, and it's unfortunate that this happened to this team, because I think that they're great, and I think that they make great things. But yeah, I am not enjoying the DLC that much. I'm gonna be honest with you. I gotta get away from these guys. They're too loud. I'm not enjoying the DLC that much because the bugs are really stopping me from progressing. Now, I do believe that in my other game, the campaign that we actually shared together, I think I've beaten it. I think I've gotten through the entire story load of the DLC, because the last thing that I did story-wise, there were no new objectives, no new information that popped up at the end of that. So I think I'm at the end of it. So potentially I have finished the DLC. But that being said, there's still a lot of items and things that I can get from the trading camp from those merchants. Hold on a second. Sorry, had a little sick moment. Okay, so I think I beat it. That being said, there's still so many things that I can get that are new and exciting. The Lady Dwarf is so vocal. That are new and exciting you can still get from the trading camp. So my interaction with the DLC is not complete. I haven't unlocked everything. I haven't gotten every new item, all of that. So what I want to do tonight is talk about what I love about it, specifically what the struggles are, and then try to give you guys a little bit of insight if you're tackling the DLC from the start. My suggestion for maybe how to approach it. Now, all of this I'm going to give you from my own personal perspective, and I play games differently than everybody else. Everyone plays games differently, technically. Some people love the grind. Some people love having to go get materials to craft the thing to sell to the merchant, and then get that thing that you then have to use to craft the next thing, but you don't have all the ingredients that you need, so then you have to go get another thing. And like, some people really love that. Like, they get into that system, and that can be satisfying for an extended period of time. It is not satisfying for me. I see the thing, I get excited, I want the thing, and then it's taken hours and hours and hours and hours to get a thing. And it's been really frustrating for me personally. So anyways, let's finally get into it. Now that these guys are sleeping, and hopefully we'll be quiet for a minute. So what you do is you build your space, you establish your delving stone. We did this, you guys, in the last stream. And check out how it's kind of got these sparkly swirly things going on. This is the delving stone letting you know that your delving is ready for an upgrade. So these guys did some work while we were chatting. They were able to eat some food. They were able to drink some ale. They're feeling pretty good about themselves. So they came over to the delving stone and they deposited their pride. They applied their pride to it. That's the term that we're using. So when you do that, these little alcoves fill with these Musicon carvings, which I think is such a cute idea. I love it. Absolutely. And now you can see if I go to interact with the stone, I have an option that says raise delving. So I'm absolutely going to do that. And you know you have to do it with a song. You know you do. Da-da-da-da. I love that little thing. Yes, actually, Bjorn and Aldrich sing in that bass baritone when they do it, so I'm a little curious if other dwarves with different voice types sing above that, or if they all get way down there. I'm curious to know if it's just my guys, but excuse me. So we've upgraded now, so let's take a look. We are now delving level 2, company level 3. So total delvings, I have 1 of 2, so this is telling me I can have 2 delvings. Now, this was not an option before. You could only have 1 delving in the beginning. And to be completely honest with you, here's an advice piece for me. Focus on your 1 delving until... I don't know until. I think until you are forced. Now, this is a minor spoiler, but I won't give details. You will get to a point in actual story progression where you have to have a second delving. And I won't tell you why, and I won't tell you where, and I won't tell you who and how. But you will have to have a second delving, and you will realize how difficult it is to manage 2, especially with the bugs that are currently in place, and we'll talk about it. But basically, I've upgraded, so now I can have 2 total delvings if I really wanted to establish another one somewhere else. And I will tell you guys, I tried this because I really wanted to use my miners. I remember telling you guys that in our world seed that we did our playthrough with, I left so much ore behind. Like, there was so much ore to be taken. So there was a lot for miners to do in my world. And so what I did was I waited for the first opportunity that I could establish a second delving, which essentially was referred to as a work encampment with a rally stone. So not this big delving stone, but the little rally stone that we saw in our playthrough. I set that up in the lower deeps where there was the most mining to be done. I set up the mining markers, and those guys, there's reasons why it's very difficult to manage 2 delvings at once. And then I will say just outright, the miners they're not very efficient. You get a handful of ore for an entire day's work, and they are just as needy and difficult to deal with as the rest of the NPCs. So personally, I'm like not worried about the miners. That was what I was most excited for, but they're just not functioning in a way that I think is actually helpful. So if you are playing what I call a clean game, where you're not using any outside resources from your existing world, miners are better than nothing. You're gonna get 5 more resin, you're gonna get 7 more granite a day than you would on your own if you have them working. But for me, it wasn't worth the trouble to have to manage a whole other delving, plus feed them, plus get them their ale, plus go check on them, and make sure that they're doing what they need to be doing. Basically, at the moment, because the NPCs are extremely glitched, you have to babysit them. And when I say babysit them, I mean stay in the delving that they're in. When they're nice enough to show up, you have to sit there and stay in that location, or the builders will not build, the craftsmen will not craft. It gets to be really difficult, actually, to leave the delving and assume that they're doing their jobs, to come back and all of a sudden they've disappeared. And also, the cook has made a bunch of food that's gone bad because the NPCs disappeared and all of this other stuff. So basically, like, I spent time sitting in my delving. I made a chair just for Aldrich, and we just sat there for days on end just to make sure that the monuments were getting built, and all of that. So anyways, we'll move on from this, but we have updated our delvestone. You can technically have 2 delvings now, but I don't recommend doing that, and there will be a point in the game where you're going to have a second delving, so I would just wait for that point to kind of experiment and get the feel for it. Now, here's what is most important for your progression: building monuments. Building monuments is by far the thing that determines how fast you move through the game, and let me tell you, it won't be fast. You will not suddenly, it's kind of like bodybuilding when people are like, oh, I don't want to lift weights because I don't want to look like a jacked dude, and it's like, you have to kill yourself for like 7 years to look like those people. So you're not going to accidentally get jacked by just lifting weights a couple times a week. You're not accidentally going to progress by prioritizing your monuments, because they're going to take forever to actually get finished. And I've been told at the moment, I think we have 4 in our building menu. Let's check. Yeah, we have 4. I can confirm there are at least 5. I have been told that there are actually 6. So there's going to be a 5th one that gets unlocked in story progression. And then I've been told that there are 6. in the game that I believe I finished. I haven't unlocked a 6th one yet, but somebody in the Discord told me that was a thing, so maybe there's something that just hasn't popped up. So, so these are the 4 that you're given. Once you build the Zaggle of Wealth, that's the first one you're given. Once you build that, these other 3 unlock. And then a 5th one is going to unlock in the story, like I said, and then allegedly there's a 6th one. So just reiterating that as if it matters. So you're going to have to build all of these, you guys. It's not pick and choose. You got to build all of them if you want to progress, and they take a very long time. So I would suggest that when you are staffing your delving, you focus on builders. Now, what I've learned, and this might not be true, everything, disclaimer again, everything that I tell you guys is based in a game that is buggy, that's not working the way it's supposed to. So I might say what I'm about to say, which is you can only have 4 builders working on a monument at a time. You are maxed to builders at 4. If you have 5 builders that are equipped and ready to build, the 5th one will just sit down, and when you walk up to him, his status will say, cannot work on monument. You can only have 4. Now, when the NPCs get fixed and all this stuff works out, maybe that will be different. But I'm just sharing with you guys what I've learned based on where we're at with this game right now. He's not supervising. He's sitting on his butt drinking ale. But that's a fun way to look at it. So anyways, I would greatly prioritize builders. And I wouldn't bother with a cook until you have more than 8. More than 8 NPCs, because you can cook up to 8 things at a time. If you open this out, there's 8 slots. So it's actually faster and easier for you to pop over here in the not the early evening, in the late afternoon. So if you guys look at the screen right now in the bottom left corner, where all of these stats are, these bars, it says the dark. It's day 618, holy cannolis, and it's the dark. So it's the middle of the night right now. Now it's going to say early morning, first light, it'll say dawn, it'll say afternoon, it'll say late afternoon, it'll say early evening, yada yada. I suggest cooking the food in the late afternoon. Do it yourself. In the late afternoon time, get it cooked, it'll sit there, it'll stay good, and then at early evening when the NPCs stop working, the first thing they're going to do is come over here and eat their food. Not all of them eat every single day. It's a little glitchy, so you kind of have to keep an eye out to see if anyone's walking around hungry. But that's a system that I have perfected over the course of my playthrough. And to be completely honest, this past week being sick, I haven't done much but play the DLC. So this is what I've learned over the time. So I would say I should have bullet points like 4 builders max, and prioritize your builders, because building monuments is how you grow your capacity as a delving and as a company. You'll unlock more dwarves and progress in the game by building. That's kind of the main thing. So 4 builders, get those guys in first and foremost. They are the most important, the most useful. I wouldn't bother with a cook until you have more than 8 dwarves, because you can drop food on the oven, or on, well, not the oven, but the roasting pit or the stove for 8 people. And if you do it in the late afternoon, it'll be ready for them to go. They consume it, no big deal. And then I wouldn't bother with a brewmaster at all. I wouldn't, because this isn't even the largest brew kettle that you can have in game. This is like the second to largest. This holds about 80 servings of ale. So if you brew ale in this yourself, it's going to last for like 4 or 5 in-game days. You don't need a brewmaster. Like, don't waste the space on a brewmaster. You can build more than one of these. You can also build a king's brew tank, which holds even more ale. So basically I find it more efficient and much easier to do it myself than to babysit an NPC to do that for you. So I would just recommend doing that. So they have 44 servings of ale left. Like, they're going to be good for like 3 in-game days. I'm not worried about them as far as ale goes. So, hey, it's dawn. So I've got some guys waking up. So here's what we're going to do. Because I'm saying a lot of things, but I'm not showing it to you. So I want to like engage a little bit so you guys really see what I'm talking about. So this doesn't matter. Let's go to the delving stone. Hi. And they always want to talk and give you a hug. Hey, buddy. So Alvi is a builder. He's going to go build. Austri is a mason, which means he repairs buildings and stuff. But I have nothing for him to work on. So he's been chilling. He's the one who's just been sitting around with me. And honestly, I'm probably going to get rid of him. So I'm going to make sure, do this, guys. make sure, and I haven't tested this for science, but if you have put armor, outfits, or tools in the hands of NPCs and you want to just get them out, make sure you get your stuff first, because I don't know if you dismiss a dwarf like we're going to do right now.
Exciting times, eh?
In the manage, so let me show you how to do it. Excuse me. Come here, dude. You got nothing to do, and I'm feeding you and giving you ale. So I'm going to go into the details here. When you get close to an NPC, this is the menu that will pop up. You can talk to them, equip them, or go into details, which is what I'm going to do. This is going to tell you that his skill is masonry, and it'll give you the status. So it's saying he's at ease, they have no role, and won't work because they have nothing to do. He has nothing to fix, and Mason is like the last thing on my list that I need to check out. So I'm going to select the manage option down here on the bottom of this little tab. In here, you're going to see inventory and equipment, relocate, and dismiss. I'm going to select dismiss. Fair warning, if you dismiss a dwarf this way, you cannot get them back. They might go back into the rotation, like, just by nature, and then you can go pick them up in the Dimmel Dale again. But, like, if you dismiss them, he's out of your menu, you can't go take him back. And I'll show you the difference between withdrawing a dwarf and dismissing them. So we're going to dismiss this guy because he has nothing to do. And there he goes. He's just gonna beam right out, Scotty. And then that's going to open up space for me to get more builders in here, which is exactly what I want to do. So let's take a look at our delving stone. I'm going to confirm the staff that we can have on hand. So I have 2 builders right now, so I can fit 2 more. And I'm going to do that because, again, building is like the most important thing. So I'm going to go grab 2 more builders. They're not necessarily going to be available, but I'm going to go check. So these guys are going to stay here. And this is telling me under the 50 out of 300 pride, 300 obviously is you're trying to reach that level of pride at the delving stone. That's going to be your next upgrade. Underneath that, there's 4 out of 7. So this is telling me I could currently have 7 dwarves in this delving, but I only have 4. So we have room for a lot more guys here. So we're going to go get a couple of builders. And I hope this is all making sense. And you go to the Dimmel Dale, excuse me, to do that. You go to the Dimmel Dale to do that. There we go. There we go. Good to know. I'm going to drop all kinds of knowledge for you. My new campaign seed has a King's Brew tank in the house that is opposite the west gate. Oh, interesting. Interesting. Okay, guys, Dimmel Dale. This is outside of the Dimmel Gate. This is where you recruit your dwarves. I think we've done this already. So let's go see. I'm going to go into details of Phelan. See, versatile. Versatile dwarves are great because they can do a lot of different things, because that's what versatile means. So I'm going to hire them. I don't have any coins on me, though, do I? Okay. I want to come back and get that person. Sorry, who are you? Can't do much special, but I always work hard. This is an unskilled dwarf, and I honestly don't know. I don't know. I'm assuming I can just give them anything and they'll figure it out. This may also be a little bit of insight for you here, and potentially a little bit of a spoiler, but you are able to unlock outfits for the different skills. So like a smith outfit for your smiths, an artisan outfit for your artisan, a cook outfit for your cook, so on and so forth. I've heard it. I was asking because the outfits are kind of hard to get. You really have to trade for them, and you need special, unique materials you didn't have before to craft them once you get the recipe. So they're kind of hard to get. And I was like, oh, I wonder if this means that they increase the skill level or the efficiency of the dwarves that they associate with. What I was told in the Discord by another player that I trust their insight, is that the headpiece specifically, they all have hats, and the headpiece you can put on any dwarf and allegedly gets that dwarf that skill. So if I put the cook's hat on this dwarf, they will be able to cook. That's the hypothesis. I have not tested that, and again, this is just another person that's in the Discord answering questions for people like me who are like, I don't understand any of this, and I wish that there was an instruction manual that explained how all of these things work. And maybe there is one and I'm just missing it. But allegedly, if I get the hat and put it on a dwarf that has no skill, they would acquire the skill of cooking. I don't know if that works for dwarves that already have a skill associated with them or not. And to be completely honest with you, I'm not going to be able to answer that question here on this channel because this is going to be our last stream of the Durin's Folk DLC. So I'm trying to get you as much information as I can from my experience playing through it to what I believe is the end. I could be wrong, based on the imperfect gameplay that we have right now due to all the bugs and issues with it. So that's the hypothesis. I'm not going to be able to answer that question, but you can try that in your game and see if you can apply different skills by applying the different hats from the different outfits, and I hope that makes sense. New outfits, they are cute. They're extremely hard to get, and they're not worth it to me at all because they don't, excuse me, I can get dwarves with the skills that I need, and I don't need to make them, you know what I mean? So, cute outfits, yes, I don't find them useful enough. Okay, so I want to come back for this dwarf, and here's what we're gonna do. Have I gotten this objective yet? Hold on. Visit the trading camp, raise all... Okay, I haven't gotten the objective yet, so I'm not gonna do it. There's something that I recognize going on in this area, but I'm gonna wait until we're told to engage with it before I do that. So I want to come back and get this dwarf because they are versatile, but I don't have any money. How much do they want, actually? How much do you want? Recruit for 100. Okay. So they're a cheap hire. So we'll go get 100 coins, we'll come back, and we'll hire this person, and we will make them a builder. Okay, so I have... What did I do? I went and grabbed a couple of fat stacks of things. So 300 coins, that's fine. So you'll see, I've told you guys already, you are very familiar. This is a warehouse supplied game seed. So I have stacks of 9.99 plus in here from the warehouse. And what I actually found very efficient to do is to have a fat stack of coins in my pack at all times. And every time I hopped over to the Dimmerald Dale, I didn't have to think about it. I literally had thousands of coins at my disposal. So I could just hire whenever I popped over there to check it out. So I would recommend just carrying a bunch of coins on your person at all times. It's just something you're going to be engaging with enough that it's kind of worth carrying around. And honestly, much to the suspicion that I had, I think last stream, the NPCs really do take over everything else that you're doing. My gameplay has exclusively turned into caring for the NPCs and trying to manage their crafting. I'm not mining, I'm not exploring, I am cooking and I'm like brewing ale, but like I'm not doing anything that I did in the original campaign. The NPCs are supposed to do that for me. So that being said, carrying things in your pack is even more just okay, like unstressful, because I'm not running around filling my pack with anything being productive myself. So if you want to carry those coins around, take up that slot, you're really not sacrificing much, in my opinion, and that's just how I play. You might still be running around picking up everything you can find on the ground, but that's what your salvagers are for, so... Yes, okay, so I selected X for recruit for 100 coins. Send to Delving is the option that popped up. Michael Delving is the only one that I have right now, so I'm going to select A. And I'm going to confirm it. So this NPC is going to go to Michael Delving. As am I, because I don't want the unskilled dwarf right now, because I'm not worried about them. And I'm just kind of showing you guys the process. Friendly reminder, and I'm starving, so I'm going to eat a lumbus. Alright, where's my person? Here they are. Phelan. So I need to equip this person with a builder's hammer. I don't think... No, this is a blacksmith's mallet. Who are you and why aren't you doing anything? This is a salvager, but their skills are metalworking. Okay, we'll talk about that. We'll let them go. Actually, I might, you know what? I'm gonna dismiss... Am I gonna dismiss them? I'll hang on to them for now. Okay, so what I need to do is go to a crafting station. We know how much you love to cook. I just love it. How many times have you gone out there with no cash? Too many. Too many. Okay. I'm gonna go to a workbench. Okay, don't get ahead of myself. Don't get ahead of myself. Your tool tab is here in the workbench. Now, I will say this ahead of time. Everything that there's things that you're gonna have to craft when we engage with the trading post. We're not there yet, but you're gonna have to craft stuff, and it's not you. You literally cannot do it. It has to be an NPC. And that's why it gets really monotonous, because if you're trying to push through your progression and you're trying to get material, like trade for stuff, you still have to wait on the NPCs to do it. So that's why it's super frustrating when the NPCs are not functioning, because you cannot build a monument, you cannot craft the materials you need for trade. You can't do it. They have to do it. So the fact that they don't work and they disappear from your delving and all of that, like, that's why it's so frustrating. So I hope that makes sense when you're depending on them to get where you're going and they just vanish or they don't function properly. That's why it's such a big deal. So anyways, in your workbench, you have a tools tab now. And here you're going to find all of the tools for your NPCs. You have to equip them. If we bring a builder in here that it says skill building, he can't build without a hammer. It doesn't matter how good he is at it. If he doesn't have a tool, he can't do it. You have to equip them. So we're going to go and build we're going to craft, a builder's mallet. Excuse me. So I'm going to go give this to our versatile NPC that we just hired. And they should pop right over to the monument because it's only noon and they're going to keep working again until early evening. So equip. And here's the thing it took me a minute to learn. Putting this in their inventory is not equipping them. It's not doing it. They have a hammer in their inventory. They're not going to use it. You have to apply it to the armor slot.
Got it.
Okay? It has to go in there. Now they're going to the monument to build. So great. So yeah, you can't just drop it in their pockets. You have to literally equip it like you would equip armor. So they have this same menu slots for armor that I do over here. You have to put it in their hands. Literally put it in their hand. They're babies. They're such babies. Okay, so we went and got a builder. That's super exciting. You can have a total of 4. So you know what? There was only one other dwarf that I could have hired, and they did not have a specific skill. So I have 3 builders now. And I have a metal worker and I have a salvager. Kristen, same person. They're walking around pretending to be useful. Okay, so I can't run out and grab a builder. I can't grab another one. There's no one available at the Demerald Dale. So I'm going to switch my focus really quick. And we're going to talk about other jobs, NPC jobs. I know. So Shanor ingots, okay, that's fine. My metal worker has just been going without any supervision. I haven't given them any directives, and so this is the delving chest, as you guys have seen before. This is where your NPCs who craft will put their crafts. Also, the salvagers will pick up materials. They'll put them in here. So you have to have a delving chest. And this is, my salvager has brought me some mushrooms, some wood scraps, some stone, some cloth scraps. Excuse me. And my metal worker has been crafting Shanor ingots. Just randomly, on their own. I don't know why. Let's take a look at what I've given them to work with. This is the metal worker's ore bin. They literally have access to every type of ore, and they're just crafting Shanor ingots. So, here's 2 points I want to make about this. Your storage, so there's a bunch of ore in that for the metal worker. My ore, I think, is in here. Nope, it's in here. So this is my store of ore. Your crafters will not pull from this. Thank goodness. Because then they just start making things like crazy people that you never asked for and wasting your materials. They don't pull from your storage. So you have to specifically add what you want them to work with to their storage. And all of them have something special. So let's look at them real quick. So under essentials and crafting, I have the delving chest, blah, 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 blah. Okay, the metal worker's ore bin. You just saw that. We also have the cook's pantry. So if you had a cook, you would put food items in here based on what you want them to cook. Okay? So they're not going to pull from your main inventory, take all your stuff, and cook whatever they want. You'll put specific ingredients in here for them to use. And then we have the blacksmith's billet rack. For your blacksmith is going to, well, I can't really tell you what they're going to do. I'm going to have to show you. Excuse me, but this is another variation of an NPC job specific storage. So a blacksmith is going to need ingots. Ingots and potentially other ore, depending on what they need to craft. Mostly it's ingots. So you're going to end up putting specific stuff in here. I'm going to show you what you're going to want to use, so don't worry, we'll get there. But I'm just showing you the basic concept right now. So if I had a blacksmith, which I don't, this is where I would put their materials that I want them to work with. If I had a cook, which I don't, this is where I'd put their materials I want them to work with. So you specify, okay? Now, my metal worker has access to tons of ore, and this is actually a really bad idea, so I'm going to take all of this away from him. I'm going to take all of this away from him, but what I am going to do is pop over to the crafting station that he is using. So this is the furnace that this guy is using. I'm going to interact with it as if I'm going to use it. And this is what you're going to see, and I really want him to stop making this thing. Now, here's all your options as if you were going to make them yourself. I'm going to select gold ingot, and if you see over here on the right-hand side, it says priority Y. Add to queue priority Y. You have to tell these guys what to make, or they're going to make whatever the heck they can with whatever you give them. So this is why I'm saying it. So, like, this has to be the reality because you don't want them making random stuff. This is how it has to be, but it's a lot. You have to babysit them so hard. You have to give them the right materials to use. You have to tell them what to make. And that's why it's such, like, your job is to run around and micromanage. And it's just a lot, okay? But anyway, this is going to apply to every crafter NPC type in the game. So you're going to tell your cook what to prioritize. If I want them to make bangers and mash, I'm going to put, I'm going to put potatoes, a ton of potatoes and a ton of meat in this thing. And then I'm going to go over to the roasting pit, which is what they have to work with those ingredients. And I'm going to go in here, and I'm going to go to bangers and mash, and I'm going to select prioritize. Now, I don't have a cook active, so that option is not going to pop up. So if you don't see it, don't panic. Also, if you do have a cook in your delving, but they are sleeping, they are inactive, if you put ingredients in and come over here, the priority option to set might not pop up until they're actually awake and working. So you kind of have to keep an eye on it. So I would, if you needed to change what they were doing, I would put your ingredients in their respective storage item. So I would put the ingredients in that cook's pantry. And then when they wake up and they start making their way over, they're going to all pop up at first light. A couple of dwarves might get up at dawn, but for the most part, they all get up at first light and they go straight to work. So at first light, you would want to come over here and set your priority to make sure that your cook is only going to cook the things you want them to, and therefore only use those resources. Now, these guys are running over here for food. I've gotten myself in a bit of a position, so let me add another. It is early evening right now. You can see it in the bottom left corner here. It is currently early evening, so this is when everyone wants to eat, like I told you guys. So this is just proving what I was saying. Alright, so there's a few servings. Now, when you get to more than 8, the meal table can only hold 8 servings. So you're going to have to build more than one meal table when you get too many dwarves, and the food will go to both. So just know that as well. I can see some of this being handy if you're doing a huge build. You can set them to do some of the things. I think I'm like you. I just do it myself. Yeah, I just determine what they have to do. Because again, you can't do everything. Some of the NPCs have to do some of the things. And that being the case, you can't just bust in and do it yourself. I can cook, though, and I can brew ale. I don't need a cook, and I don't need a brewmaster. And things like that. But I do have to have builders, and I have to have crafters, and all of that good stuff. So yeah, what I don't have to outsource, I'll just do for myself until I get a ton of dwarves in my delving. So anyways. Okay, so does that make sense? You guys have seen the literal progression. We went to the Dermal Dale, we hired a new dwarf. They had the versatile skill, and I set them as a builder by equipping them with a tool. So there they go. They're all set. They're going to function as a builder as long as they continue to spawn into the delving. And then I have shown you that jobs like the metal worker, you have to give them specific materials to work with, and you also have to give them specific instructions of what you want them to make. So we'll keep going with gold ingots or whatever. So the only way to stop this dwarf from crafting is to take away all of their resources. You can also try to just take away their tool, but I would be doubly safe, take their resources and their tool, because a lot of weird stuff is happening with the NPCs, specifically with blacksmiths, who are the ones who are going to craft some of the items you need. They are crafting replacement cranks alongside, like, and I'll show you what like, I have to show you the specific recipes that they have to make. We're not quite there yet. But with everything they have to make, they're also producing replacement cranks. This is a complaint across multiple players. It's a huge thing going on in the Discord, and I have definitely experienced it. I have a special chest put aside just for the extra cranks. So I would take away their tool, and I would take away their resources if you just want them to stop. And what's really cool, I will say this. What do I have in my pockets right now? Okay. So let's say I want my metal worker to stop. So let's just, I'm going to demonstrate what I'm talking about. So let's take away their materials. I'm going to go find them. Is it you? Phelan, yes, okay. They've already replaced their hammer with a mug of ale, so that's fine. But I'm just going to take this hammer. Like, you can't... No, this is a builder. Wait. This is a builder. Hold on. I'm a dum-dum. No, we'll put that back. Where's my metal worker? I grabbed the wrong person. No, I want the builder to build. Darn it. Guys, there's food right here. Why aren't you eating? This happens a lot, too. Like, there'll be food on the table, and they'll just stand there. And it's something about the dwarves being blocked by non-existent barriers. Like, they will be standing right next to a bed. You'll walk up to them, and they have the sleepy icon above their head, and their status will read blocked from bed. And they're literally standing right next to it. So stuff like that keeps happening, too. And if that happens, I'll show you what you can try. They can kind of break them out of a glitch like that, but it's things like that too. So not only do they just disappear and not do their work, but they'll also randomly get blocked from their objectives, which will also stop them from doing their work by being stuck on nothing at all. Or even maybe behind a chest or maybe behind a pillar, but for the most part, they can navigate around it and it'll randomly happen. So you might have a dwarf that goes hungry because they're just standing here looking at a table full of food,
That hit the spot.
and they're somehow blocked from actually consuming it. So you got to keep an eye on that stuff as well, which is really annoying. So there's a couple of fixes for that, and we'll talk about that when we get there. But my metal worker. You're a builder. Are you my metal worker? Builder. Okay, so these are my 3 builders. Where the heck is my metal worker?
It's been a while.
You're a builder. It's right next to their name at the top.
Nearly all.
Builder next to Phelan. There's an icon for a dwarf over here. Oh, are they dropping their pride? Yeah, he's dropping his pride at the Delstone. That's great.
Well.
So in their equipment, they're also carrying some ingots in their inventory. This is their pockets as well. So before they put these things into the delving chest for you, they will have them in their pockets. So sometimes if you... At the end of a day's work, if you don't see anything in the delving chest from someone you were waiting for, engage with them and see if they have stuff in their pockets. So I'm going to grab these ingots as well. But I'm going to take this metalworker stoking rod and just take it away. So they have no ore and they have no tool, which means they are not going to do any ingot crafting for me. Which I prefer at the moment because I don't need anything right now. And that's going to save me from... drowning in things that I don't need and also losing materials to crafting projects I did not specify, so. How this can be full is so offensive. Okay, I'll put it in with the treasure for now. Okay, but I'm gonna keep this tool in my pocket because I do want to re-equip them at some point. Now, when you have an NPC, any NPC, that you don't want them doing their own skill at the moment, like with our metalworker. What you can do, because here's the thing, you guys, like I said, I'm gonna let them go to sleep. Hold on, while I talk. Like I said, they have to complete a day's work before they're gonna apply their pride to the delving stone. And when they apply their pride, that's a step in the direction of your progression, right? So you need these guys to be working. You don't want them necessarily just sitting around. Even if you don't want any ingots, and you're just like, I have all the ingots I need, and I don't want you to use ore that I want for something else, yada yada. For reasons you don't want your metal worker actually doing their crafting speciality, your option is to keep them working, equip them with a salvager's creel,
Will do.
because any NPC will salvage. This is not, I think, salvager and guard are the only 2 jobs that any NPC will do, regardless of their skill. So, fortunately, that metalworker is going back to bed, as they should. But I've equipped them with a basket, so now they're going to go collect materials from around the area and bring those back. So they're still going to do a day's work, and they're still going to apply their pride for a job well done at the end of the day, but they're not going to be doing the metalworking job, which is what I don't want them to do right now. So that's an option for you if you need to shut somebody down. Go ahead and just give them a basket. And if you have a farming area, these salvagers will also... I don't honestly know what they do. They do harvest things out of the farming, but it's very hard to tell if they replant or like manage the crops at all, or if they just harvest them. So like my farm beds are never empty when these guys are working. So I think they're replanting. I'm not sure of the dynamic. It's a little bit weird. But anyway, if you have a farming patch or an area of that and you apply salvager, those guys will go work on the farm as well. So they don't necessarily have to run around the area and pick up scraps off the ground. They can also work in a farming space. So if for any reason you want to not have your NPC do their actual job, give them a basket. They'll do that. Give them a sword. They will become a guard. Guards are also useless, by the way. Guards are also useless. Okay, I'm a little hungry and there was too much food, so I'm gonna eat one of these for myself. Okay, so now we've gone through a whole day here in the delving. We came in the middle of the night, they were sleeping, and now they've worked a day and they've gone back to sleep. So, what do I want to do next? I think I want to go back to the General Dale. Let's see if we have any new positions to fill. I'm gonna grab a bunch of coins. And we'll do this really quickly. And then we will go to the trading post, because that's going to show us a couple other details that I want to share with you guys. I like that if you're cleaning an area. Yeah, and here's the thing too, Cursed. I don't know, and I haven't tested. When a miner mines ore, the environment does not change. The ore deposit looks exactly the same as an untouched ore deposit. Even though I've had 3 miners going at a single deposit, it doesn't break away. With the salvagers, does that mean when they walk around and pick up cloth scraps, those scraps just stay on the ground visually? You know what I mean? It might be worth, like, taking one and following them around to find out. I'm not going to do that, but somebody can try that for science. So, because the ores do not change, and I'm pretty sure if I went up there with a pickaxe, I could mine the entire ore deposit, it would all come out. But I'm thinking the dwarves basically gather resources infinitely, and therefore don't actually affect the environment from which they gather. That's my understanding. That also seems to hold true, like I was just talking about with the farming plots. When they handle your crops, the crops just stay there. Like, they don't go away. They just kind of stay, and these guys are harvesting them. So that's why I was saying I'm not sure if they're replanting, or if it's just how the NPCs work, that when they're collecting any resource for you, the actual environment or the source of the material doesn't actually get affected visually or in terms of its physical presence in the game. So I don't think the salvagers, I don't think the salvagers are actually going to clean an area. I think they pick up a cloth scrap into their pocket and it stays on the ground as well. If that makes sense. Like, it doesn't make sense, but if it's true for all the other ways that they gather materials, then that's what it's going to be. Okay, Svala, what do you do? Details? Masonry. I really don't need a mason, so I'm not going to take Svala. It makes sense, but it's disappointing. It really is. Alright, and this I think is the same. Yeah, Erdur was the same. So, and let's take a look real quick. At the top of this menu that pops open, above the name, you'll see it says here for 1 more day. So the game will tell you how long this particular NPC will be sticking around. So either you can come back for them, so you got to go run and grab coins or something. You got to come back for them. Or if you're waiting for them to get replaced with a different skill type, I'll know that in another game day, so like next dawn or whatever, this person will be gone, a different person will be here. So that's something to note with the merchants in the training camp as well as the NPCs in the Dale. They will tell you how long they will be around, and that information actually becomes very handy. So Svala is here for 1 more day as well. So I don't need either of these, and that's fine. So what we're gonna do instead is we're gonna go to the trading camp, which is open 24 hours. And for some reason, not popping up on my map stone. I think it's because we haven't gone there yet. We might have to go there through the Doors of Durin the first time. So hold on one second. Let me blow my nose, and then we'll head over to the Doors of Durin. Okay, thank you. So let's go to the West Gate. Oh, the Aftermath. That's right, I do have a map stone over there. Let's go there. Okay, Curse. Yeah, I'll take a swig. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Good idea. Alrighty. So now we are headed to the trading camp, or the trading post, or whatever it's called. And we're going to engage with that for the first time, and I'm going to let you know that building monuments and crafting recipes for your trading post characters is going to be the only two things that you do in the DLC that matter at all. And those are the two things that your NPCs have to do, which means the fact that they're not working is like the worst possible reality in the situation. Okay. Here we go. Faith is truly the best teacher and part of knowledge. Oh, that's not true. We all know that's not true. Okay, let's travel to Holland for the first time. I don't remember if anything special happens. Okay, yeah. So we just popped out on the other side of the Doors of Durin. And now the trading post is here, you guys. So there was a cutscene with the stonemason about this. So let's talk to the stone warden. Let's talk to them first. The stone warden says, I told you I would build a trading camp right here. What do you think? Supplies, tents, traders. What more could you want? I say, I see only dwarves. Where are the elves, hobbits, and men? I love that they put this in here because people were like, I want to see elves and I want to see hobbits and I want to see men in this game. And the best way to do that would be through the merchant system. But I love that the devs like addressed that and were like, we're going to answer that question because no, you can't have them. It's true. Pedagogue just said so. Oh my God. I've learned more in the last 15 minutes than I have in the previous days of trying this myself. Oh, good, Pedagogue. I'm glad. I'm so glad to help. Hello, by the way, and welcome in. Fair warning, you weren't here at the front of stream, I don't think. I'm still a little sick, so I'm taking little breaks to cough or blow my nose, and I might struggle to talk some if I get irritated. So just heads up that I'm a little under the weather. Okay, so they're addressing this. The team is saying, we know you guys want elves and dwarves outside of the mines. You're not going to get them, and we're going to address it in-game. So I'm sorry, Bjorn is who we are today. And he's like, I only see dwarves. Where are the elves, the hobbits, and the men? The Stone Warden responds, well, we don't need their kind at our walls. Rude. That's what the king under the mountain decreed. So Thorin III Stonehelm was like, yeah, no, I don't want those people over here. He thought it'd be best to restrict trade, to use dwarves as a go-between for now. I say, I'm not sure we need to be so cautious. How does it work? The Stone Warden says, simple. Traders bring goods to the Westgate, you fulfill their orders and gain their respect. That allows for bartering. Fulfill an order, you establish your reputation. When a trader has something you need, you'll find that reputation is a kind of currency. I say, I fulfill their orders, then get what I need from them. And that's exactly how it works. Okay, and the objective I was looking for before has popped up, greet the Wanderer. So next time we go to the Dimmerald Dale, we will greet the Wanderer, okay? So this is exactly what it sounds like. So I'm going to run over to the Red Mountains Trader. Now, Red Mountains is, of course, a dwarven settlement, dwarven kingdom. So this is dwarves to dwarves trade here. Now, when you talk to I'm going to call them a merchant because apparently there's been some, like, confusion around calling them traders because it's like Traitor, like they're a traitor to their country versus like people are having issues with it. So I'm just going to call them merchants to like avoid the confusion. So anyway, when you talk to a merchant for the first time, or when they come back, so these guys, just like the dwarves in the Dimmerald Dale for hire, these guys will come and go. They're traveling merchants. So Red Mountains guy will go away, a different merchant will come. It's a rotation. And so that's what keeps it fresh. And then every time they come back, they, if you've fulfilled all their orders and brought them down. And I'll show you what this looks like. When you fulfill their orders, they have nothing else to give you. You can't gain anything from it. So when they leave and come back, the process starts over, and you can earn more respect. It's just like it loops basically. So that's how that's gonna work. No worries, thank you. I'm curious about the trading business. I just completed a new campaign and unlocked the Holland Gate today. Okay, well, Pedagogue, I will explain. I'm going to explain it all, and that might constitute as spoilers for some people. But this is the last time that I'm going to stream the DLC, because I myself do not think it's going to be content that I'm going to enjoy sharing, because it's so difficult and tedious and grindy for me. So I'm going to try to divulge as much information as I can tonight as far as what I've done in my own game, but that's definitely going to involve spoilers. But again, I want to share that because this is the last time we're going to talk about it, at least for the time being. So here you are talking to your merchant. Now when you talk to them, you'll see this tab here pop up. First of all, let's take note here for 5 more days. So again, this is in-game days, right? So that's good information to have. So you have 5 days to craft and deliver this stuff to them. That's what that means. So the first item under the orders side of this tab, so you see a tab that says orders and a tab that says offers. We're just hanging out in orders right now because we have nothing to work with. This is the first person we've talked to. This merchant wants 6 gold and silver filigree. They want 4 of the carpenter's kits, and they want 210 emeralds. 210. Now here's where I'm getting that information. The item itself is over here highlighted right now, gold and silver filigree. If you come to the right side of this menu, you'll see this button. It looks like a button. It says need more to trade. Underneath that is a smaller text. It says they will buy 6. So that's why I know they want 6 of these. That's where that information is. It's underneath the button that says need more to trade. It says will buy 6 more. So that's how I know that. So we need 6 of those. Under Carpenter's Kit, it says 4. Under Emerald, it says 210. Do you guys see it? I just want everybody to see it. That's so unreasonable. Agreed, Cursed. This is the first indication to justify my opinion that unless you hate yourself, the only way to get through the DLC is to get items from the warehouse. It's the only way you're going to get through it. Otherwise, you're going to spend the next 15 years acquiring 210 emeralds. But we'll talk about the resources that have been given to us in the game to acquire these materials as well, because don't think that it's just whatever emeralds you have and that's it. Like it's gameplay. It's the gameplay that was designed to supply the solutions in the DLC. So we'll talk about what that progression is. So they're not leaving you out to dry. You can get 210 emeralds, but it's just going to take some work. So anyways, this is the Red Mountain Merchant. This is what he wants. This is what we need to get him. So if you guys noticed, as soon as we engaged in conversation with this merchant, a couple of recipe tabs popped up over here on the right-hand side. So we were given, upon speaking to them, we were given the recipe to make gold and silver filigree. We were given the recipe to make carpenter's kits. Okay, so here's what you need to know. This is going to be listed in recipes in a specific place. I'm going to show you where it is. When this merchant leaves in 5 days, that recipe goes with them. Okay, this is important because you're going to get really, you're going to freak out. Because you're going to be working on this. Say we try to make 6 of these. We only make 4 by the time he leaves. You're still trying to make 2 more, but the merchant has left the area. All of a sudden, that recipe is no longer in your recipe list. You cannot craft it. And you're going to be like, what? What? So just know that when the merchant leaves, the recipe leaves with them. So when the Red Mountain merchant comes back and you re-engage, that recipe will come back to you. So your recipes will only be active when the merchant is active in Holland. So just know that, because that's been a real freak out moment for a lot of people. Hazard, absolutely. I was going to talk about expeditions here in a minute and explain that was the best resource to get these materials. So expeditions, we all knew, were announced, were told we're going to come. And expeditions, I was going to feature those a little bit later in stream, show you guys how you can prioritize materials through the expedition. So yeah, we'll get there for sure. But hello, Hazard, and welcome in. So yeah, so just know that. Just know that.
What are you willing to part
And
with,
then,
friend?
just for funsies, we'll take a look at what this merchant is offering. My brain had totally forgotten expeditions. I'm actually really disappointed in them. And we'll talk about it. But they are good for material gathering. I have no arguments about that. But they don't actually function the way I hoped they would for my own purposes. So anyway, we've got some unique items here that we do not have, materials we do not have in game currently for ourselves. This merchant is trading saffron, fire clay brick, red sandstone, copper ingots, which we do have, pumice, which we can get, salted meat, which we can make ourselves. Recipes include the crimson brazier plans. I got this, you guys. I thought it was going to be really cool. It's just another, oh, what's it called? Hold on. The first statue you can build that has the two torches that looks like a dwarf. It's like golden. And it's called, I forget what it's called, but I'll show it to you. Anyways, the crimson brazier plans are not that great. So I would recommend skipping this until you like have gotten everything you actually need to get. Anyway, from this merchant, you can get a building recipe here. You can get the advanced miner's helm recipe. So remember earlier we were talking about, it's been said, not proven by me, so I'm not going to sell it as gospel truth. It's been said that if you craft a skilled hat, so a miner's helm, you can apply it to a dwarf and that dwarf will gain the skill of mining. That's the implication here. So and that makes sense in my brain, and I think that's probably true because the hats and the outfits are listed separately. So it does feel like they are special. Now, it also says in the description of the miner's helm, it's a recipe to craft a sturdy helm devised by the Red Mountain Dwarves, provides expertise in ore extraction and tunnel safety. So this is why I thought these clothing items might actually up your NPC skills or potentially their efficiency. Maybe if I got the miner helmet and apron outfit, they would actually mine significant amounts of ore. You know what I mean? Like we talked about before. The miners grab like 5 resin out of a deposit every day. Like it's not enough ore to even bother with. So if I got them the outfit, would they bring home like 20? That was my thought. I was like, you have to get, not only do you have to earn these recipes, but then you have to earn special materials to craft these outfits. So they're a lot of work. And then here in the description, it specifically says provides expertise. So I was like, oh, is this going to like up their capabilities? But I've been told that the outfits are purely cosmetic, but the hats are something you can apply to a dwarf that does not have that skill at the moment. You can apply the hat and they will gain that skill. So that's the hypothesis. The red sandstone building set. This is one of 2 building sets that Tharkoon let us know was coming. So you can supply enough orders to this merchant and then come here and purchase from them the red sandstone building set. And I will go ahead and tell you that the red sandstone building set and the white marble building set is all of the granite recipes and all of the adamant recipes in that color, in that material. So it's the exact same items. It's the arches, it's the doors, the windows, the barriers, the pillars, the stairs. All of that stuff, you can just make it with red sandstone. It's literally just they copied and pasted the existing materials between both the adamant and granite building tabs. All of those recipes are available in red sandstone. All of those recipes will be available in the white marble. So once you unlock this building set, that's what you get. And then fortunately, they break them up into their own tab. So just like they did with the Beorn's Lodge DLC, all the lodge items are in their own tab in the build menu. They've made a tab for red sandstone and they've made a tab for the marble. So you'll be able to break them up and it's really, really nice. So I have unlocked both of these building sets. I have worked with both of them and it's exactly that. Like it's all the exact same pieces we already have in granite and adamant, but available in these new materials. Okay, Smith's Apron, of course, is the outfit. And then volcanic glass is another unique material that we don't have access to that we have to trade for. So a couple of recipes here, a couple of resources we can actually get on our own. Excuse me. But materials we also don't have on our own. So we're just going to stick with the one trader for now because there's only so much time in a day. So we're going to try and fulfill this this merchant's orders here. We're going to try to make these gold filigree and the carpenter's kit. Emeralds, I definitely don't have 210. Now, to be fair, Cursed, They buy them in clusters of 30. So you can bring them as many as many stacks of 30 as you have, and you'll get a little bit of reputation for it. But what they're going for total is the 210. So you do get credit for 30 at a time. So you don't have to bring them all 210 at once. But again, he's only going to be here for 5 more days. So if you do want to max them out, that's what that's going to take. Okay, I'm going to die soon because I've been starving for a hot minute. I'd actually like to have some color choices for base building. I love the marble. I'm not going to lie. It's more beautiful than I thought it would be. It is actually detailed. You can see marble veins in the material. And there's like, oh, I should also say the stone. So stone, granite, and adamant are all represented in both the red sandstone and the marble. So there's like a rough hewn marble wall that looks like the stone wall where it's kind of chunky and uneven and stuff, but it's in marble. Or you can do a smooth version, which is more like the granite recipe. And then if you do the adamant version, it's just that thicker stout wall. So I should say that stone, granite, and adamant are all represented, just in different colors. So yeah, good stuff. Okay, so those are traders. So we also have somebody from the Blue Mountains. I'm not going to talk to them right now. We have a Rohan trader down here. You can see their little icon. We have a dwarf representing Rohan. Rohan doesn't have anything of use, in my opinion. Nothing to trade for that I actually need. So these are the guys that are here today. Again, these merchants will rotate and other merchants will come. So we're going to go ahead, activate this map stone, and head back to our delving because we probably need to feed some hungry dwarves. And we also need to craft some things. Oh, you know what I'm going to do first, though? I'm going to go to the Dimeral Dale because we don't have an artisan or a blacksmith right now. And those are the 2 jobs that you're going to need to make these orders to actually craft these items. So let me go see if we can hire somebody. Yeah, Curse, the only thing holding me back from building everything in marble is that you can't get your hands on enough marble, obviously. So however long it takes the warehouse, however that process is, with all gratitude, whenever marble becomes available and infinite, like, crazy stuff is going to happen. I will actually play a lot more Moria building when I get those materials more handy. So I'm very excited for that for sure. Okay. This is the same person, right? That was here before?
Cheers.
Masonry. No use whatsoever. Also, I can't unlock the recipe to give them a hat. Like, we haven't gotten that far. So I don't have enough reputation. We haven't traded for anything. So I can't get that recipe no matter how much I want it to give any of these dwarves skills they don't already have because of what I actually need. So you have no skills. It's not that they won't do any work. I'm going to recruit them. And I'm going to give them the appropriate tool to do the job I want them to do. And that is going to probably be smithing. And then oh my gosh, get on the wall. And I told you guys the next time we came to the Dimeral Dale, we were gonna engage in a story piece here. So, Greet the Wanderer popped up as a, pedagogue, no skills. Greet the Wanderer popped up as an objective for us a little while ago. And I'm going to read it to you. Travel to the Dimeral Dale and speak to the stranger. That's what we're going to do right now. Many dwarves seek an audience to join our company, but word has reached me that one is strange and worth speaking to. I will judge for myself if he is worth the time. So there is a wanderer here. There is a unique dwarf trying to gain access to Moria. And he is right over here. And I saw him here earlier, but we didn't have the objective yet, so I didn't want to talk to him yet. I get why people are chomping at the bit then. Yes, patience is a virtue. I play on PS5, so I don't think the warehouse is going to be an option for me. It absolutely is, Pedagogue. It absolutely is. Because you're just traveling to another world. So if you've ever played with another player and gone to their world seed, that's how you would access the warehouse. You absolutely can from PS5. So, if you aren't sure... So, let's see. Cursed, if you are around and you can drop the link either to the video or to the Discord or both. I made a video about the warehouse. The join codes for that world are in the description of my video. And then if you go to the RTM Discord server and join it if you're not already a part, go into the DS server list. The Lionheart's Grand Warehouse and Armory channel is in there, and the join codes will be in there as well. Thank you so much, Cursed. You're the best. Yeah, you absolutely can get into the warehouse. Yeah. No skills. Maybe I'm the one with no skills. Oh no, you're good. Cool. Yes, absolutely. Please take advantage. Like, I would have pulled my eyeballs out of my own head trying to get through this DLC if I could not access the warehouse. Like, it's been that bad. Anyways, let's talk to the Wanderer. Hello, sir. Roar. Stories of your renown have spread across the Misty Mountains, yet it was the glow of the beacon that drew me. I'm an experienced traveler and know my way around these peaks. I ask, are you a wanderer? He says, I've traveled the Misty Mountains from Gundabad to Mithadris. I'm happy to show you the way. I say, your travels may prove useful. Welcome. So I'm going to recruit him. He's free because he's a special character, as you can tell. So we're going to recruit him to Michael Delving, and that's where he's going to go. There he goes. And I will say he is the first part of some story mechanics for us in the DLC. And by sending him to my Delving, we have unlocked another objective. Another objective. Okay, hello everybody. Hello, greetings. What's up? Are we hungry? It's late afternoon, so they should all be working. And you'll notice that they don't do any work until I show up. Until the boss comes home.
The mountain smiles on us.
They've been
today.
sitting around since first light until late afternoon, not doing anything because I wasn't here. I hate that so much. Okay, there go my salvagers. Food table needs clearing, so I'll do that real quick. I'm gonna check the status of my ale, make sure there's plenty for everybody. I still have 28 servings left, that's fine. Okay. What do I need to do? We brought a dwarf with no skills home in hopes that we could turn them into a blacksmith. So again, let's go to the workbench for a couple of reasons, but the first one is going to be for the blacksmith tool. Oh, which is the mallet. I already have one of these, so I'm not going to craft that. Very typical. Ideally, they're supposed to be working. Phelan is a builder, is Addie's equip. Okay, so this is something that I've come across a lot. Another struggle with the NPCs. If you guys remember, the last time we talked to Phelan, they had put their hammer away and were holding a mug of ale. This is showing me that they never re-equipped their own hammer. So sometimes they do, it seems like, and sometimes they don't. So Phelan did not re-equip themselves. So I need to go in here and do it. Lacks building material. Okay, so this is exciting. Let's do what we were talking about first. Are you the person I picked up? These are all my builders. Okay, so their status is saying they lack building materials. That's a very specific cue. But I want to find the person that I hired. Are they sleeping? Where's my skillless dwarf? Hello? Are they sleeping? Where are they? This happens a lot too, where again, individually or as a group, they all disappear. So I'm not seeing. Let's check. Let's check. The Wanderer is supposed to be around here somewhere. I didn't see him either. Udur is the one that I just hired, and I don't see them anywhere. The status here says they are standing by and at their ease. So that would mean that they're hanging out over here. But these are all my builders. I'm gonna double check. Builder. Are you guys hungry? Are you going to the table? Builder. Wait. Yeah. Oh, it's early evening. Yeah, they're hungry. Okay. I'm gonna do it. I'm just gonna make 8 servings because eventually everyone will come home. Maybe when everybody comes to eat, I'll find my person. So we're gonna equip them when they come back to camp. Maybe if they do, if they show up, if they don't. However, let's go look at our monument because remember the builders were saying Phelan was fallen. Oh my gosh, the builders were saying they didn't have building materials. Every monument has 2 stages of completion. You have to deposit massive amounts of materials for each stage. So we engaged stage 1 of this monument in our last stream. So let's go see what they're needing right now to engage with stage 2. So I need 100 wood scraps. I need 60 volcanic glass. Do you guys remember where I get that from? I need 250 bronze ingots and I need 100 diamonds to get the second stage of this building monument going. And this is another reason I don't think you can make progress unless you use the warehouse. I think you're just going to be twiddling your thumbs trying to get these materials. But volcanic glass is something we can trade for. And the Red Mountain merchant who we were talking to has it. So we need to get what they want so we can trade for volcanic glass, and we need 60 total. I spent 2 in-game days looking for the Wanderer. He and 2 other NPCs were missing. They all reappeared when I logged out and back in. I do think the Wanderer has caused quite a lot. The Wanderer and Expeditions have caused quite a lot of issues. They're very bugged right now. Yeah. I kept checking the Delve Stone, and I made the assigned a bed. They were listed on the stone, but nowhere to be found. Yeah. Yep, that's what we're dealing with, unfortunately. And again, it's per the course. It happens to a lot of companies, a lot of games releasing new content. It doesn't always go the way they want it to. Okay, so it's still just my builders here. My salvagers are never coming home, apparently.
Hit the spot.
But I want to check something. I want to check and see. Now, I was going to put a monument here, so should I put this here? We're going to have 5 to 6 monuments, and I need big open spaces reserved for them. But I have something I need to build, and I'm trying to figure out. I'll put it over here. Yeah, I'll put it like right here. Okay, so let's see. Bringing the Wanderer to our delving should have unlocked something for us in the building menu, rather. It's not showing me that I have anything new, so I guess it didn't. But let's just double check real quick. Nope. Okay, so since the Wanderer never officially came home, I have not unlocked the recipe that is associated with him. You're still the build. Okay, yeah. Okay, so I am missing the Wanderer, the person that we just hired. My salvagers are finally coming home. So I'm missing 2 dwarves. Here's the first workaround, the first thing you can try. And it's going into the listing of who you have assigned to your delving at the time. So, Roar is not showing up. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to withdraw him, and you're going to be like, no, don't withdraw. No, you want him. This is you kind of turning it off and then turning it back on again. So we're going to withdraw him from this delving. We're also going to withdraw Udor, who has also not shown up. So my builders are here and my salvagers are here. I've got eyes on them. They're still here. Now, when you do that, a list develops on the bottom when you withdraw dwarves. A list of unused dwarves. Now, this will all expand when you have multiple delvings and stuff like these different categories. But right now, all of these dwarves are listed as available. And you can see that. So Golfer is available. Gunlaug is available. Roar and Udor are available. So they're just sitting here waiting for you. So this is the difference between withdrawing an NPC and dismissing one. So you'll notice that, I don't even remember the name of the dwarf, but there was a dwarf that I completely dismissed that I did not need. I think it was a mason or something. They are not in this list. They are gone. So I think I don't know if there's a limit to how many dwarves can sit in your withdrawn category before you start to send them away. But yeah. So anyway, other dwarves of the company listed here are available. So I'm going to go in here, and now I'm going to relocate them to this delving. So I just took them out, and now I'm going to put them back in. And hopefully this will make them appear. This doesn't always work. Sometimes you've got to restart your game. Sometimes you just have to wait. Sometimes the game is just like, no. No, I don't think so. So here are my builders.
It's been a while.
My faithful builders having a good drink. My salvager, Kristen, having a drink.
Much accomplished.
Okay.
Much to do.
I'm still not seeing my guys. Now, I will look around for them because, again, NPCs get stuck behind things that are not actually holding them. So I am going to run around real quick and make sure they're not hanging out in some corner somewhere. Oh, look at the monument is floating. Do you guys see that? Oh, because we built it on top of the statue, I bet. I bet. That's funny. It's floating, though. Okay. Yeah. I mean, I would see an icon as well, and I'm not seeing any, but I just want to be fair and run around before I get mad. Okay, so there's a builder and a salvager going to bed. My other builders are going to bed. Okay, so they're still not showing up for us. And this is what I mean, you guys. Like, I'm just powerless now. Like, I can't engage with you guys with expeditions. I can't make that progress with you because the NPC is not showing up in the delving. And this is a huge bug and it causes so much issue. So again, imagine if it's your builders not building monuments. You're not going to level up your delving because they're not here building. If your craftsmen disappear and you need to make the filigree and the carpenter's kits for your merchant, they're not here to make those for you. You're just stuck. You're just screwed. So this is where a lot of the frustration is coming from a lot of players, is not only that it's a little difficult and you have to dig a little bit to find directives and answers for like how to do basic things, but also these glitches, these bugs that are still very present. It's just stopping me from doing anything. Like I'm literally under house arrest. So what I'm gonna do is go into a different, okay, so these are furnaces. I need to build a forge. I'm gonna go into some different elements here. Show you guys some other things. So going back to that merchant, the Red Mountain Merchant. Again, reminder, when we talked to them, they gave us some new recipes. It's recipes that are specific. Those are things that they want. So here's the thing you have to know. Artisans, smiths, and metal workers, mostly smiths and artisans, have to be the ones to make these items. A, you cannot make them. And B, all three of those jobs are a part of the equation. So the workbench is for the artisan. We don't have one, so I can't like show you how they interact with the item, but you've seen the metal worker work with the furnace, right? You've seen him over here stoking the fire. When you have an artisan, they work from the workbench. So I'm going to go in here and we're going to take a look at a new tab that just popped on, and it's orders. Okay, so orders is a tab that is added to your workbench when you have any active recipes. Friendly reminder, when that merchant leaves, that recipe will go away. This gold and silver filigree is not in here forever. It's going to go away when our Red Mountains guy leaves, and when he comes back and we re-engage, we'll get the recipe again. So to make gold and silver filigree, your artisan will need gold ingots and silver ingots, as listed right here. And you'll see in that little button space underneath the description, crafted by artisans. Not you, not anybody else. It has to be an artisan. So builders, artisans, smiths, and metal workers are the only 4 jobs that are actually necessary for progression. And I would highly, highly focus on hiring multiples of those. As of right now, I believe 4 builders is your limit. I don't know if that is true for every job. So could I have 4 builders, 4 artisans, 4 smiths, and 4 metal workers when I unlock that many NPCs? Maybe, I don't know. I haven't gotten that far. So I know for a fact that 4 builders is all you can get. With that being said, I can't even show you because we don't have an artisan. We haven't found one yet. Their storage box has not appeared. But I'm going to put gold ingots and silver ingots in their storage box. And then I'm going to prioritize the gold and silver filigree so that that's what they craft. So you got to micromanage. You got to make sure they're doing what you want them to do. The forge is the exact same example. This is your blacksmith. And they have the recipe for the carpenter's kits that the Red Mountain Merchant wanted. This is what you need steel ingots for. So you need a blacksmith here, and you need to give them steel ingots, and then you need to prioritize carpenter's kits here in the menu for them so that that's what they craft. All right. You have to talk to him in your delve to unlock the expedition table. I believe you, because it's not here yet. I tried withdrawing Vor and reassigning him. He showed up when I relogged. Okay. I'm just glad we have streamers like yourself that are actively sharing these bugs and described workarounds where they exist. I'm glad. Who has to do those things? Artisans and blacksmiths. And there's going to be recipes that your metal worker crafts specifically as well. And so they'll need ore, and then your other 2 will need ingots. So I don't have a smith's, no, I do have the smith's storage thingy do. Where is it? You definitely can't. Am I beating a dead horse? Am I beating a dead horse in my frustration? Probably. Okay, so we gave the metal worker his storage thing. So here's the blacksmith billet rack. The blacksmith needed what? Steel ingots? What was it? Steel ingots. And he needs 8 for each. And the carpenter's kit, what was it? 4? The merchant wanted 4 of these. So I need 8 times 4 ingots. And again, I would highly encourage you to put only what they need. Otherwise, they're going to make stuff you don't ask for. So I'm not going to give them all the steel ingots that I have. That would be a big mistake. Because all of a sudden I'm going to be out of steel ingots. And I'm going to have a bunch of things I don't need that aren't carpenter's kits. So, steel ingot, there's 8 right there. There's 3. If I do quick grab out of a fat stack from the warehouse, it's going to give me 100 every time. Oh, well, it gave me 86. That's fine. So never mind. That's false information. It gives you a big chunk. It gives you a big chunk. I should be nice to you since you're sick. Yes, you should. Also, I'm very frustrated about all this. So yeah, I'm probably going to repeat myself a lot. Okay. So when we get a blacksmith, their steel ingots will be in here for them to make. And until I have one active, I cannot set the priority for that crafting item. So that's really frustrating because I want to show you guys how that works. It's going to be important for you to visualize it and know the difference. I was pretty close to completing my monuments and I encountered a bug. I lit the beacon before I killed the dragon. Arik never showed up after the credits to unlock my King Brew. Had to start over? That sounds like absolute chaos. Okay. Yeah, I did hear that you can unlock Durin's tower mid-campaign. That's not reserved for endgame. So I did hear that. So I guess as soon as you can get to the crossroads, you can examine the door and then like unlock it. So okay, so you got Durin's tower, which means you went and rebuilt the beacon before you beat the game, because you can do that at the crossroads. Arik never showed up after the credits to unlock my King Brew. I don't know what your King Brew is, but I think you're just talking about after the credits, you say goodbye to Arik, you get a couple of objectives and stuff. Is that when they give you the brew tank, I guess? And you had to start over? Like you had to start a completely new campaign, or you just had to shut your game down and restart it? That sounds crazy. So yeah, apparently another bug. It's buggy, it's a big deal. Okay, what am I supposed to do? The Explorer is not showing up. I tried the first workaround that I've been told of, so I guess we can, you know what we can do? This is what we're gonna do. We're gonna go to our playthrough world with Aldrich's World for story mode, where we did our playthrough, because I've made huge progress in that game, and I can actually show you everything. And I think at this point, the trading post was the only thing that, like, we hadn't seen as far as, like, doing it in order. So let's jump over to the world in which I have everything active, and then that way I can show it all to you. Because, again, this is the last time I'm going to cover the DLC on this channel. We're going to transition to a different game. So I want to give you as much information as I can about the DLC so far as I've experienced it. So let's just do that, and for the sake of showing you the things. And that being said, friendly reminder, spoilers ahead, but more instructional. I'm not going to tell you guys anything about the story. I've gotten past all of the story elements in the DLC so far as I know. So I'm not going to spoil any of that for you guys, but as far as functionality and logistics of how these things work, I'm going to show that to you guys, but that will also include some spoilers. Stupid bird. Cursed. I did unlock the tower in the late mid-game, but I couldn't light the beacon until after I completed the campaign. Because you didn't have materials, maybe. It takes a lot. When you relog to your other world, Vor will be there. Yeah, he will. Well, he might not be here, but what he brings will be here. Okay, so welcome back to the Crossroads Delving. If you guys remember, a lot has changed. A whole lot has changed. We've got a bunch of monuments in here now. But what I wanted to show you specifically, real quick, when you bring Vor the Wanderer to your delving and he actually bothers to show up, you can talk to him. And then the expedition table, the expedition map, is going to pop up as a build option in your menu. So here it is under Essentials, the expedition map. Okay? And then do you see this yellow circle, this perimeter around the table? When you're playing with other players, you all have to be within this circle to get sucked into the expedition together. I don't play with other players while I'm live, so we have not done this. I haven't played with anybody else because I don't have time to play with anybody else either outside of streams. So there's a lot of issues. There's a lot of bugs with getting multiple players to expeditions, so just know that. But basically there it is in your build menu. That's what we're looking for. So here it is in action. Now you can look at it, and these options are going to change as you go. But like I think Hazard maybe and I were saying, when you unlock expeditions, you will have these multiple options. So there's a Lost Ruin, a Wild Deep, Dark Mine, a couple of different, like, generic terms for these. Now, you'll see a couple of things over here on the right side. Under Dark Mine, there are 3 stars listed. I think that's difficulty. And then for Wild Deep, there's 4. So I think the Wild Deep expedition's going to be a little bit harder. So I think that's what those stars represent. So some of them have less stars, more stars. Now, you'll also see details. This Wild Deep expedition is rich in topaz, golden quartz, and silver and onyx. So this is what we were talking about expeditions filling the gap to get you those 210 emeralds, right? So basically you would be looking for an expedition. Now, no guarantees, because everything's randomized, no guarantees that you'll have an expedition available that has emeralds. So far none of these have emeralds. Here we go. So this Wild Deep has emeralds as an option. So yay, we're lucky. Today we're lucky. New expeditions available at dawn is listed at the bottom of the right menu. This is all going to reset at dawn in the game. So this expedition will go away. So if you find it, grab it, you're like, sweet, let's go get emeralds. So basically, here it is. Here's the information. Now, the other information you have. So this is where you'll get your materials that you need tons of for your merchant exchange. Threats, it will tell you what you have to face. Fell beasts and orcs are in here. The moths and the drakes. So this is a level 4. Level 3, you're going to face drakes and orcs, red-eye trolls, and red-eye tribe uruks. There really isn't a great way to avoid these enemies, especially the orcs, because they are also in that outpost format, and they're usually kind of at the front. So anyways, it'll tell you what you're facing. It'll tell you what the expedition offers. And then, this is a fun little tab that has never worked for me, but I've only tried it once. It says that you can search for specific things. So say we're looking for 210 emeralds. So I'm going to scroll until I find emeralds. I'm going to select that. And then it says searching for emeralds, new expeditions available at dawn. But it's not tagging this expedition that has emeralds in it. So I don't know what that search function, what that does, or if you put that in, if the next day when new expeditions pop up, it's going to put an emerald in there for you. Like, I don't know, because I've never seen it actually do anything effective. Okay. It looks cool. It does. When I beat the campaign, some streamers were in the credits. One was named Faith. It was me, Pedagog. Yeah, Pedagog. It was me. That was North Beach Games, the publisher, acknowledging the creator team, which I am a part of their promotional team for this game. So, yep, that was me. It is. The orc chests are stuff with one of the listed resources. They're worth fighting for, Pedagog, yeah. And then I have been to... and here's another slight spoiler, no details. Just like at one point in the story, you'll be forced to have multiple delvings going at once. You will be forced to go on several expeditions. So the story will push you to experience these. If you're like nervous about doing it, like it's going to push you to do it. The expeditions that I did one voluntarily, and then I did the ones that the story required. And, excuse me. One of them was Mithril. Was like rich in Mithril. I'll show you. I will show you. So here's what we'll say for expeditions. When they say they're rich in something, they're not kidding. Like, they offer a lot of materials. So expeditions are worth it if that's your main source for gathering materials. So again, 210 emeralds, that's a ton of emeralds in the regular campaign. That would be a little hard to come across. You definitely have to go into some darkest deeps, take your life in your hands. And every darkest deep isn't going to offer you emeralds. It's going to be luck of the draw if emeralds are even down there. But yeah, you would have to just, so there's no way that you could fulfill the merchant orders if expeditions weren't part of the game. This is the dev team being like, we're going to create a need, and then we're going to give you gameplay to help you fulfill that need, because that's how you build a game and that's how you build gameplay. So again, as much as I'm complaining about how grindy it is, how you can unlock one thing and then need like 18 other materials you don't have to build the next thing, and then it just takes so long in between, they did formulate it in a very logical way, and it's just up to you whether you like how many steps it takes and how long it takes to acquire all those things. That being said, I don't have the patience, so our dear friend Lionheart and our dear friend Nightcrawler, who hosts Lionheart's Grand Warehouse and Armory, has a server that we can go and get these fat stacks, which is what I have in here of these other ores. So I don't have to go on expeditions, which is great, because I don't have the patience for it. So anyways, it all makes sense. It's all logical. And if I believe in my heart that if everything was fully functional, the way that the devs designed, it would flow a lot better. So I'm coming for the DLC a lot of ways, being like, this doesn't make sense, this is really intricate, this is really grindy, yada yada, here's the problem. That's all real for my experience, but I do understand what the intention was, and I do understand that like they built a solid structure of gameplay for this. But anyways, so I have a smith working right here. I have two smiths, in fact. So let's take a look. This person is crafting the kitchen ironware, which, spoiler alert, the merchant from the Shire wants, believe it or not. Obviously, kitchen stuff for the Shire. But anyways, you can see now in the menu this priority option. So now that I have an active blacksmith working at the forge, I can set the priority. So here are all the recipes. This is how many traders I have in my trading camp right now. How many merchants? This is all the stuff that they want. These recipes, again, will go away as soon as those merchants leave. So basically, whether I fulfill the order for one or the other, or whether I'm prioritizing what I can get from that specific merchant, I'm going to tell my blacksmith to make certain things, and I'm going to provide them with exactly the materials that they need to do so. So I hope that makes sense. If you guys have questions, throw them in there. But this is why I'm saying smiths are, like, hugely necessary. I've got 3 of them going now. So yeah, this smith is working on something different, and I love this because you can set different priorities on different crafting stations. So I've got one of them working on the kitchen ironwork. I've got this one working on the surveyor's instruments. And I love that. Like, they give you the option. Again, I haven't pushed the threshold. I don't know if I can have 4 smiths going at once. I just have 3 right now. But I can set different priorities so we can work on multiple orders at once. So thank goodness. Alright, and then up here, my artisans are working away, at least 2 of the 3.
For saving me.
This person is in mithril armor for reasons. but yeah, okay. So they just finished their craft. They're real excited. They're full of pride. So they're gonna go... I'm sorry, I'm in the way. We'll follow them. I'll show you this in real time. They've made whatever I asked them to make, and now they're gonna put it in the delve chest. If they do what they're supposed to. So yeah, he did the little action of putting it down, but it'll be in here. So, probably the runic heartstone, because this is an artisan item. So yeah, so they're putting their crafted items in here. This is stuff from my farming, my salvagers. That crafter just put a lamp in here. All that good stuff. So that's where that goes. So these guys are working away exactly like the smiths. They are assigned to priorities. So this one is supposed to be making engraved mirrors, but guess what? I need mirrored silver. That ridiculous material that we had to craft to build our reflective mirrors to open the doors. Mirrored silver is needed to make these. So this crafter can't possibly make what I need them to, unless I give them the materials to make it. Now, this is the Artisan's Jeweled Ochre chest. So this is their storage box that we have not been able to see in the other game. And so far as I can tell, and we'll test this. If you put, so I have 3 artisans. I believe they will share one chest. I believe they will. So if you put the materials for all of their crafts in one chest, I think they'll all work out of the same chest. But I'm low on materials right now, and that's fine. So that's just an element of that. So you're gonna have to come in here and make sure they have what they need to keep doing their job.
So happy to be part of this.
Okay, so other than artisans, other than smiths, I do have my metal worker over here.
It's been a while.
Working on some stuff. Let's see what they're working on. It looks like Kazad steel is a priority for me, so they're making Kazad steel ingots. I can't show it to you. Oh wait, it just popped up because he just put one on. So yeah, I need Kazad steel ingots, so that's what he's working on. And these are all the ingots I've given him to pull from. So yes, does that make sense? Is that all logical? So you gotta give them the stuff, and then you've gotta set the priority on the crafting station, and then you've gotta hire and equip enough of the right skilled dwarves to like make an efficient little business out of it. And then when you need materials, you go to the warehouse or you go on an expedition. Because to be honest with you, the salvagers and the miners and anyone else who gathers materials from outside, it's not enough. It's not nearly enough. Absolutely not enough. All right. Yay! Yes, it's me. I did the mithril one too. Right. The Shire had something I wanted. I'm always up for dumb hats. Currently rocking on the Advanced Miner hat. Nice. Advanced Miner's hat is equipped with dual lasers. I wish. Yeah. Hold on just a second. Ugh, I'm so glad you guys can't hear that. My coughing fits and my nose blowing. Okay. So, what else do I need to show you? Here's the dual meal tables I told you guys about. Let's take a look at my delving stone here. So, look how many levels are on this. I'm so proud of us. Literally pride displayed right here. It's not full. But, now I need 3,500 pride. I mean, the stakes get raised every time. So this delving folk is listed here. And I think I've done away with my other delvings at the moment. I've been trying to, what's the word? Consolidate all of my stuff into one place for now. Because again, I'm really excited for the concept of having other delvings in other areas when everything works. I think that's going to be really fun because you're basically building like a home and a factory to do all the stuff. And like I said, I did beat the story of the DLC so far as I understand it, but there's still a bunch of stuff at the trading post I haven't gotten yet. So there's still objectives for me to do here. So let me think. Let me look at my list. Okay, so we talked about builders, smiths, and artisans, and metal workers being the priority for getting progression in the game. Brewmasters, cooks, salvagers, miners, guards, like not really that helpful at all. Cooks are pointless unless you have more than 8 dwarves. I would just put that number on it. Like if you have more than 8, so you can't run to the roasting pit one time and feed them all. You might want to grab a cook so that they're cooking for the bigger groups. And yeah, you're gonna sacrifice. I do have a cook actually over here, by the way. There they are. They generally take care of everybody, but they will waste food. They will make too much food. Everyone says every cook is making too much food. You can prioritize just like you can with any other craft.
To you.
Not equip. Oh my gosh, I love when they sit down on to cook. So my priority for this cook, no surprise, is bangers and mash. So I gave them a ton of potatoes and a ton of meat. That's what's in their little storage item place right here. Meat and potatoes. Gotta love it. So that's what they're cooking. That's what their priorities are. And so that's what they're going to put on these tables. But they are going to make too much and some of it will go to waste. So just accept your fate. Accept your fate as far as that goes. What else should I show you? And again, like I said, I've got 2 of the smaller brew tanks. This is the second to largest. So 80 for each, so 160 servings between the 2. That's gonna keep my dwarves happy for like a week or more. You don't need a brewmaster. Do it for fun, obviously, experiment with the jobs, that's fine. But as far as like necessity and progression, you really don't need them. Drums in the deep, it's okay, they can't get to us. They cannot get to us. I have fortified this place like nobody's business. So yeah, monument number 1. Monument number 2. This is really cool. This is that that library. So there's actually scrolls and books inside of here, and you can run through it, which is really fun. Monument number 3. This is a story unlocked monument. Monument number 4. And monument number 5, the Undying Flame. So again, these are the only ones that I've unlocked. I expanded my delving out here into the passageway so that we could build more of these. Definitely was not enough room in the crossroads for this. The second one is pretty. They're all beautiful. And remind me, we can't move them. No, we cannot. And you cannot destroy them either. You can't destroy them and rebuild them. Once they're built, they're done. So that's another thing to keep in mind. With this particular delving, I've just been fighting to get to the end of the DLC. I've been fighting to get through all of it and just slapping stuff wherever it will fit. Like, I'm not stressing about where it goes and all of that. So that's another thing I'm looking forward to when things are less glitchy. I would love to be building more monuments more strategically. And honestly, these don't make sense inside of buildings like this. Like, I want to build these things in the Drodelf, you know, like big open spaces. So I'm excited at the prospect of making that happen, you know, later on when things are a little more fixed. So yeah, here's my farm patch. My salvagers will come over here and do that for me. They will harvest Elbereth's Blessing. Now, they will put their, again, friendly reminder, they put their stuff in the delving chest, and then I put it where I want it as far as my storage goes. Okay, so these guys are making a whole bunch of stuff for me, so let's grab these trader goods or merchant goods. And let's go to the trading post so you guys can see this in action here. These guys are working away. It's noon, so they're going to keep working for a while. Another thing that I will stress for you guys, and this could be like I'm hallucinating, but I'm pretty sure I've proven it. If you store, especially ore, it's really only happened with ore. If you store ore on pallets, the metal worker just takes it. I think they just take it. And for some reason it's been the star metal, so this is why I think it's a bug. The star metal pallet has been lessened, and star metal ingots continue to be crafted, even though I have never assigned my metal worker to craft those. They just kind of happen, kind of like the replacement cranks are happening, kind of out of control. So here's my special chest to hold all of my replacement cranks that have been crafted that I never asked for. Here they are. Not sure if you could destroy them, but as I was removing some foundations to replace for nicer ones, I think mine was deleted. Our friend Axebeard, who I consider the actual expert, did say that you could maybe destruct the platform that they're on. Which, like, I'm not gonna do that, but I don't know if it's this pedestal. Or if you have to build them, if you have to build extra floor and then put it, I'm not sure. But I have heard, yeah, I've heard that if you destroy this, the monument might go away. But, like, I fought day and night for these monuments to be built. And by fought, I mean I sat in this chair. Just like this. While day cycle after day cycle after day cycle repeated, because if I leave this delving, my builders disappear and they're not building. So I literally had to sit here. There's nothing for me to do, nothing to gather. I can't go out the door. I can't take the mapstone to some other location. I can't leave the delving without my NPCs vanishing. So I would sit here for literally hours. So what I was doing to get through the DLC, to be completely honest with you, I would get projects going. When I was lucky enough that all of my NPCs were showing up in the delving that were assigned to it, I would fill my belly, I would sit in this chair, and then I would walk away from the game, and I would, like, go do my own laundry or some chore. I would play some other game while Aldrich just sat here just to make sure that the builders were building and all of this was happening. Because, again, if I leave the delving, these guys are going to disappear. So this is that frustration. You can't make progress naturally because things are so bugged right now. You've noticed that with your star metal too? I don't. And at first I thought it was like they were making stuff with no materials, you know, which would be annoying but fine. But it's like, oh, you're actually taking my mats and making stuff when I didn't give it to you? Like, that's not cool. That's not cool. It's the first part you put down before you click confirm. Yeah, I think he suggested building them on pedestals. You can change it until you click confirm. Once you confirm the monument site is permanent. Right. Yeah, and we did that. We did that in a previous stream. So we've kicked off monuments before, so I'm not going to do that. And I don't have any more to build right now. So here's an example of extra food. Sometimes, this is another weird thing that happens with the cook. Sometimes they will cook too much food, and then it will sit on this table, and then I'll go to pick up an individual meal, and it'll actually be like a supply. And so I'll end up, my pocket's full of actual meals, which you shouldn't be able to carry these things in pocket. These are not rations, these are meals. But I keep them here, and then I go through them as I need, as I need to fill my belly. So I figured out a system for that glitch. Okay, sorry, I didn't warn you for that one. I had to blow my nose again. So anyways, what else do I need to show you guys? That's all the monuments. Those are the jobs. Those are the jobs that matter. I've got people hanging out up here still. This is where they all sleep. They generally manage to come up here. This is a good example of when an NPC gets blocked for no reason. Sometimes they'll just be like standing here. And it'll be like blocked from bed. And they just sit here mad because they can't get to bed. Yes, thank you, Cursed. I just checked the time. Thank you very much. So yeah, I'm trying to wrap my brain around anything else that I want to show you. Before we take off. So does that all make sense? Did that all make sense? I know I've been repetitive, but I'm just trying to send it home. So none of these guys have the materials that they need. Oh, let's go to the trading camp real quick.
Happy to be part of this.
Do I have any more stuff since I've been talking? Yeah, I got a ton. Okay. Alright, let's go to Holland. Alright, so who do I have to trade with? So our Red Mountain trader is here today. Our merchant here. So let's see if any of this is theirs. I haven't, like, you cannot keep track when you're engaged with the game, much less when you walk away from it. So he wants more mithril ornaments, and I have those, so let's trade. So I hit A to trade. You guys can see it in the right side of the menu. And when I hit that, I earned 100 Red Mountain credits. So as it's laid out here in the menu, trade, we'll buy 3 more. It requires mithril ornaments. You will earn 100 credit for trading this. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that. And now he's maxed out. Even though it says he will buy 1 more. Oh, I'm out. Okay, sorry. So this will indicate when you are out of the option, but they still want 1 more. This happens to me all the time, so it's like, oh shoot, I thought I had enough, now I gotta go make another one. But my smiths are still working. Assuming they're still active when we go back to the delving, they'll probably have more for me. The surveyor's instruments, they've also asked for, so this earns me 25 Red Mountain credit, and I think that's because these are made of easier to acquire materials, so they earn less for the trade. But I have 2 of these, so we'll give those over. And then you can see this menu, I don't know, strip or whatever up here. And so each of these icons represents each of the locations the merchants travel from. And then it'll have how much credit or reputation or whatever you want to call it. I think they call it different stuff for each one. You'll see that I have 487 for one, 446 for another, 270 for one, 789, yada yada. So that's basically my currency. Also, oh, I already sold him all the lumbus that I could on hand.
What are you willing to
again, we've already looked at what the
friend?
Red Mountain merchant offers. So I could buy fire clay brick, red sandstone, copper ingots, pumice, salted meat, the miner's helm. But like, I hate the miners. I'm so disappointed with them, so I'm not going to spend money on that. And then here's our volcanic glass, but we didn't need that in this game. We needed it in the other one. So here's advice to you guys when you're working with merchants. Do not buy anything just because you want it. Do not buy anything from them just because you want it. I've given them diamonds, coins, and I have no mirrors for them.
What are you looking for, friend?
Because Some of these things will be required for story progression, also for your monument builds. So when you earn a credit, so this is called Blue Mountain Kinship, like they're all called something different. When you earn a credit with these guys, so like you needed, spoiler alert, this is where you get your coastal marble from and your coastal marble building set. You need a ton of coastal marble to work on, I think it's a monument or something else. So like, don't spend your credit until you get through the story on stuff you just want. Because again, a lot of the stuff is going to be required for certain builds or crafting. And if you don't have the credit because you already spent it, you're going to be kicking yourself. So I would avoid, unless you're ready for the long haul, unless you're the kind of person that really loves the grind of gathering all this stuff and trading for it and working for it. Like, if you don't care, you don't care. But my advice to you is get through the story, which honestly isn't that long, and then start to buy things just because you want them. Because you will have to spend that credit for things you actually need. So yeah, so anyways, this is the Blue Mountain Merchant. They've got cram, coastal marble, shell, that's required material for building, salt, true quartz, the geo display plans. These look really cool, so I'm probably going to get this at some point, but again, it's like a build item, so I'm not going to prioritize that right now. The mason's hat and the cook's hat, don't care about these jobs at all. I don't need them right now, so I'm not going to buy their stuff. I can't afford the stonemason's garb, but I don't want it. Amber onyx salt, cured fish. It's just another ration. It's a simple ration too, so I'm like, what is this? Why do I want this? And ironwood. So these are the things that you can get from this merchant.
Perhaps we can trade.
But I would suggest you hold off having any fun until you figure out what's actually required. And we have a bunch more traders unlocked in this game because I've been playing for longer and I've earned more reputation. I've also leveled up my delvings. So we've got the Shire trader here.
I'm looking for fine.
I have some kitchen ironware that I'm gonna sell to them. Great. They wanted copper coins and they wanted cabbage. I already got that
like
for them.
Industrial dwarf.
They're selling eggs, fine cloth, northern wool, new material, soil dressing, dough, milled oats, cheese, cookware display. We all want this. We all want this for building our kitchens and our houses and stuff. Hey, Kathleen, welcome in. The kitchen apron recipe. This is for your cook. And guys, there are new seeds. A little bit of a spoiler. Kathleen, there are huge spoilers in the stream. This is, and not story, but just items and function. No story spoilers. But this is the last time I'm going to play the DLC on the channel. We're going to move into honestly, Animal Crossing is going to be the next thing we transition into for that DLC that's going to drop in January. We're going to start working on that. So I'm trying to hit everything that I've figured out, discovered, experienced playing it on my own. Show all the specifics of how to do it and like make progress, but I'm not giving away any story stuff. So there are new seeds for new produce. I've planted them, I've grown them, I haven't unlocked anything, there's no new recipes, so I'm not sure. I mean, maybe a merchant will require that later. But yeah, they haven't like done anything magical, but they are new, and so that's cute and fun. So the Rohan trader wants these lamps. So I'll give him those. This is what you can get from them: meat, bone, feather, fine leather, sunken moss. The brewmaster and innkeeper outfits, not worried about it. But yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, Rohan doesn't really have anything necessary, but when I get beyond the point of buying everything I feel like I need, and I just buy stuff to like have bought all the stuff, then I'll come hang out with them more. But yeah, for now it's just like, okay, cool. There's a Gundabad trader. Kathleen, since you just joined, for a warning, I transitioned to the game where I've played through the entire DLC story already. So you will not have this many traders. You have to earn it. You'll get 1 to 2 when you first unlock the trading camp, and then they will get added as you progress in terms of levels of your delving and stuff like that. So this many will not be available to you to start.
There is much we're looking to acquire.
So I don't have anything to sell to him,
we're looking to acquire.
but he sells cloth scraps, Gundabad slag, metal fragments, the expeditioner's armor recipe, sea wax recipe. Now this is something I want to point out because this is cool. This I'm probably going to get. Crafting recipe for anti-corrosive armor used in the Siege of Gundabad, which of course the Siege of Gundabad is a historical event, which I won't get into. But anti-corrosive armor. So this armor specifically avoids corrosion, which is something you experience from steam vents. And then It might have other uses in the DLC, and that's all I'm going to say. Because I don't want to give, again, any story away. And then Sea Wax recipe is a recipe to craft a protective coating that shields armor from corrosion. So this is like something it seems like you might be able to apply to other armor to give other armor the anti-corrosive property. So this is something based on the story and some new things that have been introduced might actually have a use for it. So I will buy these when it makes sense. So I could get the Sea Wax right now, but I'll wait because again, you know, there might be more stuff. But yeah. And then did we have the Lothlorien trader? Yeah, they're way over here because they're so special. Way over here.
Let's make a deal.
I don't have anything that you want right now.
Let's come to an agreement.
Elven silk, fine cloth, salvager, hat recipe. What is this? This is a new weapon recipe, I believe. Some new produce seeds, and then some other materials. So yeah, you'll just see that they have stuff that you don't have, and that's the whole point, is that you're trading for materials you don't already have. So, so yeah, so you bring your stuff once it's crafted, you bring it here, you give it to your merchant, you earn credit, and then you can spend that credit on what they have to give. It's a barter system. What are you doing? Oh no, this is the Stone Warden. Okay, I was confused about where I was. But yeah, friendly reminder, do not travel through... I wouldn't travel through the Dimmel Gate or the Doors of Durin once you unlock these map stones. You probably won't even bother, but when I went through the Doors of Durin one time, because I actually wanted to go right to Westgate, it dropped me in the aftermath as if the game had just started. I didn't lose game or anything, but that's just where I spawned in, where I came through the door. It was like back in the aftermath, and I was like, oh, I could have just used the map stone then to go to the place. So yeah, I would do that. All right. Durin's Tower. I do have a delving there, but I'm not going to show it to you guys because things. So yeah, we'll just go back to the Crossroads delving then. And we might be done. We might be done for tonight. Do you guys have any questions about anything that we've touched or dealt with? And do you guys notice I have no NPCs in here at all? The food just dropped on the table, but there's no cook. There's no... They should be over here eating, or they should be in bed, and they're neither. So they vanished. So this is great. This is... I'm not making it up. This literally happens. They just go away.
There's dwarves in these mountains.
And especially when you've got, like, double-digit dwarves in your delving, to go in here, withdraw them all, and bring them back in, because it might work. Oh my gosh. It's so frustrating. So I'm not going to. I don't care. You guys have seen what I wanted you to see. You saw the artisans at work. You saw the blacksmiths at work. I showed you all the storage compartments for them. Explained to you how to give them materials. Explained to you how to set priorities for what they craft. Showed you guys what the merchants are asking for. That's where those recipes come from. I think I covered some details about that. Showed you the monuments. I'm trying to think what else. Okay, hold on. Time check. Every RTM player needs to see this stream. There's a lot to know about the expansion that isn't explained or even obvious in the NPC management. Thank you, Pedagogue, for implying that my stream is helpful, because I really I want to be helpful as much as I can. Are they pretty? I think you asked, are you talking about the geodes that I mentioned? Because I believe they are. I believe they're like when you would get a geode out of a gift shop, maybe like an amethyst or something, which is my birthstone, so I used to see those all the time. I think it's a big version of that. I think we saw it in John Paul's stream where he was showing his delving when he was doing a little teaser walkthrough. I think we saw a geode in that. I have a question. What have you liked? And I don't mean that in a sassy way. Yeah. No questions. I'll probably watch the first part of the stream again later when I'm able to hire some of the tradespeople I don't have yet. Yeah, fair enough. What have you liked? Without giving story spoilers away, what do I like? I like kind of the thing, I feel like I've called out some things as I've gone. I like that you can hire multiple NPCs of the same job. So, like, you can hire multiple blacksmiths, multiple artisans, multiple builders to help you progress a little bit faster. The white marble, which this is, I mean, look at this. The etching in this, like the veins in the marble, this is so pretty. I love this building set. And again, it's, I'll just show them to you because it's just stuff. Whoops. So coastal marble is its own tab. And you have basically, like I said, this is a stone, like a stone arch from the stone collection. Here's a small, like a smooth, I don't have a lot of coastal marble to work with. Here's a smooth granite version of the marble, which is what this floor is. And can I show you anything? Adamant, do I have enough? So here's your stairs, here's your railings, all of that stuff. Here's the adamant pillar base in marble. So yeah, I love that it's got that detail, that etching in it. So I love this building set. The red brick or red clay or whatever it's called, sandstone. The red sandstone, I'm not that excited about. I don't love the color. I'm not a big fan of clay or, oh, what's the material that, like, they make flower pots and dishes out of all the time? I can't remember what it's called, but it's like that burnt orange kind of clay. I don't love that just in general, like aesthetically. So I'm not super thrilled about that collection. But I do love the marble and I'm very excited about it. I will say, I mean, yeah, the red sandstone, like this stuff is red. It's just red. Terracotta, absolutely. Thank you. Yes, terracotta. That is what I meant, absolutely. So yeah, here's some of the sandstone. You can see variations of this. So yeah, it's just, it's not my, I think it looks fine, but it's not my favorite aesthetic. So I like the marble a lot better. Yes, red sandstone. So, and then yeah, I mean, they did everything. They put the gilded floor, a variation of that, which is the gold. So can I put this anywhere? Like up? So yeah, it's going to be just a mixture of the gold with the other color. Obviously, the coastal marble one is a lot nicer. So yeah, it's like, it's all the same recipes that you have in those materials, just made with the other material. So it's a different color. So I love that. I love the new building sets. I really, really do. I love that they allow you to be more efficient by hiring more NPCs of the same job. Expeditions, like, even though they're not, I thought I was going to be able to stream expeditions because I thought they were going to be miniature campaigns, but they really are hit and runs. They're very short, and they told us that. Like, they told us when they were marketing it, so it was just me not understanding. They're really hit and runs. You pop in there, you handle the enemies, you harvest the materials, you leave. It's very contained, it's very small. Again, story will take you to some expeditions that have a little bit more to them, and I can't tell you how cool some of it was because it would be a spoiler for the story. And then there are, yeah, there's story elements that I thought were cool, but I will say overall, the story feels very, oh, and Aldrich is doing, this is a really fun, Aldrich is out of phase. I'm gonna mute for a second and cough. Hang on a second. All right, I'm gonna take a drink of water too. Okay. Yeah, 2 of them, I know. So this happens. This is fun. That's really fun. So expeditions are really useful, but they're not content. Like, it's not content. I can't build a stream out of it. In my opinion, that I would enjoy doing. And so yeah, there's story stuff. It's there's some cool, really cool concepts. I feel like the story overall, there's kind of 3 major points. They are all completely random. There's no explanation behind them. And even though, one of them is a cool concept. The others just feel like they were forced in to give you something to do or to have some kind of forced progression. One of them is a cool concept, but I don't feel like it was handled very well in terms of storytelling. There was no lead up, no build up, no explanation, no backstory, no reason for anything. Also, there are particular story elements for the game overall that I already kind of don't love that have actually gotten a little bit worse with the DLC story expansion. But there's cool elements. Another thing I really love, and you guys know, and I said this before the DLC ever dropped, I said the thing I'm most excited about is stuff. I want more stuff. I want more building options. I want more things. So this is a spoiler of an item that you can get from a merchant. But I really love it, so I'm going to share it if I can find it. Where did it go? Where did it go? Where did it go?
I hate dwarves more.
Do I not have it anymore? Maybe I can't spoil you. Where did it go? Is it in a different tab, maybe? Oh, it might be in furnishings. That would make sense, actually. Do I not have it? Okay, here's the Crimson Fire Brazier thing. It's the same thing as this thing. Like, it's not that cool. I thought it was gonna be a lot cooler. Womp womp. Do I have them up here? I thought I built some. I don't know where my recipe went. Hold on a second. Hold on a second. So there's been some cool build additions. That's the point of the story. I am beating that dead horse. So I've liked that. One story element was a cool idea, but just wasn't executed well. Where in the world? Is it under wood and stone? Or...
Oi,
yeah.
someone's been letting a warg into my stuff.
I'm so confused. I guess it would have been under essentials. Hold on. Hold on. There it is. I'm just blind. I'm just blind. Okay, spoiler item. The Tree of Gondor. The Tree of Gondor in Leaf that you can build. Oh, this is going everywhere. This is going everywhere. Okay, let me catch up. Sorry, guys. Really red, right. How do you unlock all the traders? My delving is level 3. Do I have to build more monuments? Hold on. Let me look. I did see that earlier. Sorry, I was just trying to find a thing. Great monuments. Did you build the Zagel? Did you build this one? So this unlocks the trading camp. So you say you have the trading camp. Okay, okay, okay. So you have it, but you just aren't getting more merchants yet. Let's see.
I hate them Mordor maggots.
Completing this sends the word that the company is here to stay. The only other monument that says it has any bearing on your status is this one. The Pillar of Unuk Ain. It's supposed to signal, when you build it, it's supposed to signal that you are committing to staying in Khazad-dûm and like finishing the job. The only thing that I can think, Cal, is that you actually need to trade more. Because other than the original monument that unlocks the trading post altogether, you might just need to trade more and build more reputation with your first set of merchants before more of them show up. I don't actually know the answer to your question, but that would be my assumption. I'm sorry, I don't know for sure. Hop in the Discord server, somebody can probably help you out. I just went to my first troll cave since the DLC and their poop piles have orange smoke now. Oh gosh. What you're saying is I should jump back into my finished game and do DLC gameplay. It's up to you, Curse. Like, honestly, I was saying for you and Ara, it might be a gift in disguise. Because, again, they announced another patch fix coming in December. It might be a blessing in disguise to start a new campaign instead and, like, have that time before you get to this so that some of these bugs can be resolved. So, I mean, it's up to you. And also, Cursed, if you want, I can tell you, like, the details in a DM. I'm not going to share it in the stream, but if you want to know what the story elements are, some of those cool things, I can share that with you, if you don't care about being spoiled. But yeah, otherwise, it's up to you. That's freaky. I like the Crimson version. Oh, I love that. Yeah. So, just another tree. And then the geode things, again, are going to be cool. Yeah, I'm trying to think what else. I think the monuments are very cool. I'm trying to think, like... I never was excited about the NPCs to begin with. That wasn't a thing that I was feeding for in this game. But they're just... there's so much work and then they're so glitchy. So I want to say that it's fun having... like, there's a part of having other dwarves around that's fun, but, like, it's not my thing that's going to get me hyped. And then, like, they're problematic because they don't work right. And then at the end of the day, they're just kind of loud. And they don't... like, even a lot of the jobs just don't even matter. Like, the miners don't mine enough to make it worth anything. Like, we've already been through all of this, so it's like I'm trying to find silver linings to things. But without sharing story, there's not a lot of really cool stuff that I can say I really loved about it. It's cool to have more content in this game, and I think with the potential of... I'm excited at the concept of having multiple delvings, because then I can build these bases and monuments in multiple areas. I think that would be really fun, especially when the NPCs are fixed and they can self-automate a little bit better, so I don't have to run around and micromanage all the time. Now, the system is what the system is as far as crafting and trade goods, but as far as, like, the NPCs showing up and doing their work, as far as the cooking enough for everybody, not too much, like, as far as just their functionality, if I can have little groups of NPCs in, like, 4 or 5 different places doing different things. Like, I would love to actually build a delving in the lower deeps and have a whole bunch of miners working out of that. That would be a fun concept. Like, it wouldn't be super beneficial in the capacity, but it's like, oh, we could build, like, a work camp, and you know, it could just be a bunch of miners working together and they going to different ore deposits. Another thing too about the miners, and I should say this, I think you guys know this, but build menu. In addition to each of them having their own storage containers for their crafts, some of the jobs have markers. So this is a guard post that you're supposed to put in an area where you want guards to patrol. And I'm trying to see, hold on. It doesn't have that yellow field that the other markers have. But here's this. My experience with this is that the guards don't come here. So, specifically what happened was, this delving was continually getting sieged, and there were orcs getting in, before I took extreme measures to keep them out. And so what I had done was put one of these guard markers within my base. The hearth grid reached all the way over here. And actually, this passage wasn't as open as this. It was probably right here. And I had built a door and, like, a wall right here between these two big pillars to seal it off. And I had put a guard post thing right here, and the guards never came here. I wanted them right next to the door in case orcs came through, and they wouldn't come here. And then even if you have, like, if you have guards in your delving hanging out, if they are, say, over here in the farm, and then orcs come in through the other side, they don't go over there. Like, I don't know. They just have a very small... My guards have fought orcs. They have. I've seen it happen in the delving. But they don't go where you tell them. And then if they're too far away, they don't engage. So I don't know what the range is. So it's like I would use a guard post and put one at each door. And then that way the guards would know to stand at the doors. And then that way they would always be close enough to the invading orcs to do their job, but they don't respond to the marker. So that's another thing, but just pointing out that these exist. This is the vein marker for your miners. You would put this next to an ore deposit, and this one does have that yellow field that's like, okay, within the space, the NPCs will understand they need to mine here. However, you have to be, like, this would have to be a few chambers down. They won't travel super far from your delving, so that's why I tried to build a work camp in the lower deeps so that they were closer to the ore itself, and then I set these markers. Now here's what I did. I had a resin deposit, and I had a salt, I think salt with granite. They do mine the bedding material as well, which seems like obvious, but I was grateful to get a little bit of granite as well, because a lot of times I need the building material, not even the ore specifically. So I had 2 markers. I had one set on a deposit of resin, and I have the other set on a deposit of salt. Both were within granite bedding material. The miners, I had 3 of them. They only went to 1. They did not go to the other. So I only got salt, or whatever. So that also wasn't working. They don't go to multiple ones, at least not right now, in my experience. And here's the thing, too. A lot of people are experiencing the same bugs. A lot of people are experiencing unique ones, too. So this could be a me thing. Maybe it's my game, my machine, my seed, whatever. But that's a vein marker, and that's a guard post. This other stuff is storage, so that makes sense. We've seen the rally stone. Yeah, I think that's it, you guys. I think that's it for stuff. And then, like I said, the merchants still have some stuff I want to trade for, some build recipes and things like that. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know, man. It's just rough. And I bet, I bet when things get fleshed out and smoothed out, I'll have a lot more positive things to say. But for now, it's just been a grind. And, like, literally just having to sit my dwarf in the delving and walk away from the game so that things would get accomplished is, like, insane to me. It does not make me happy. Love it, love it, love it. Yeah, I'm with you. To me, it's more fun to play with other actual dwarves people than to have NPCs, especially since they're not great. Yeah, right now they're not the best. Your NPC dwarves are slackers. Like, they don't do anything. It's really a problem. I'm telling you. So yeah, like, do I think it will be cool conceptually to, like, have a full delving, have a cook, have a smith, have a brewmaster, like, have all the jobs, and they're just hanging out and having fun and existing? I do like the concept. Again, all conceptually. They're not functioning well. Logistically, they're not working great. But the concept I do think is fun. The idea of having a company come in with you. The company element and you being the interim Lord of Moria. There's some more reference to that in the story, but I can't expound on that for spoiler reasons. But yeah, so it's just stuff. It's really the stuff, and that's what I wanted. And then that's why I was bummed when we first started the playthrough and I was having to do all this campaign, like, story progression. Because I was like, no, the only thing I want from this is more stuff. Like, I love Khazad-dûm, I love my dwarf, I love this game. And at the end of the day, I want to stress that I still love the game. And I think there is the format, the layout, the concept, the design of the DLC, outside of the story. I think as far as the NPC, like, I think they actually did a really good job. Like, what they're trying to do, it's just not working yet. I think they did something really cool with it. It does feel like a different game, though. I do think that having the NPCs, outsourcing all of your jobs to NPCs, basically just makes you a supervisor. And, like, I don't want to run a factory. Like, that's not something I want to do, for fun. So for me, it's like, I got to get through that element, for myself personally. I got to get through that so that I can get the new stuff, because what I really want to do is build. And what I really want to do is play with these new items and expand on, what we already have. So that is coming. That is an option. I just have to get through all this other stuff first. So yeah, and I mean, at the end of the day too, I've been playing it. It's not like it's been, some people have been in the Discord and just being like, this is unplayable, don't talk to me, like, wake me up when September ends kind of thing. Like, don't talk to me for 6 months until this is all fixed. Like, I'm gonna go play some other game. Like, there's people that are really mad, that are really irate about it. And, if they had those expectations that were crushed, like, I understand that. But it's not unplayable to me, it's just extremely difficult. and very it's a lot of work, and it takes a lot more time than I feel like it should, and to get to the stuff that's actually interesting to me as an individual player and my play style. So I don't think it's horrible. I don't think it's trash. I don't like, I am leaving this to play a different game, but only because I don't want to stream this, not because I don't want to play it. I don't know if that's any better, but I don't want to, you know, be on the stream and be like, okay, now they're all gone. So like if we were working towards a goal of getting something from a merchant, getting that geode construct from them, and like my NPCs are just gone, and there's no guaranteed workaround, there's no guaranteed fix, like this, I would die. I would be so mad if I was live streaming and then I was just standing here with like nothing to do. So yeah, we're not going to stream it anymore. So that's not to say we'll never come back to it, of course, because again, I am part of the promotional team for Return to Moria. Oh, and these banners too, I don't know if you guys caught these. These are the Lord of Moria banners. Very cool stuff. But yeah, we'll come back to it for sure. I mean, I love this game, and we might do, I mean, there's all kinds of stuff that could still come up, so if the DLC runs a little bit smoother in the future, and I have a bunch of feedback from you guys that are like, hey, can we get through the DLC now that it's fixed? Will you play it? I might acquiesce to that. I've also considered doing speedrun campaigns. I've considered doing a little bit of collaborative stuff with other creators too. So like, there's reasons that we'll come back to RTM, and definitely because I'm a promotional element, I'm part of the stream team. When there's special events on Steam, I will need to come back to the game and stream and like play it anyway. So we're gonna come back to Return to Moria, but this is gonna be the last episode that we engage with this. So if everybody is cool with it, I'm gonna wrap it up here. Again, if you have questions that I might be able to answer, I'm so sorry if I don't have all the information. Feel free to drop them in the chat. But I think that's all I really wanted to show you, is just kind of like how it's all going to work for you and how you're going to make progression, level up your delving, acquire more NPCs, and like kind of more streamlined. And so yeah, things do get easier because you get more NPCs. It gets easier as you go, as far as efficiency. But with the bugs, it's just, we'll never know how amazing it could have been until maybe the next patch in December. But yeah, so this is the last time we're gonna play this. We're gonna walk away from RTM, and I just want to shout out all of these subscribers that I've gained, the viewers, the likes, the folks that have popped into the live chat. Hello. Appreciate you guys so much. I do understand that if I transition into something like Animal Crossing, which is an extremely different game than that of Return to Moria, they share some elements, but it's a completely different vibe. I understand if you guys don't watch those. I understand if you don't come back for that content. But I would love if you guys would check it out, give it a shot, because it's still me and it's still going to be my style. And it's still going to be me going through and struggling, trying to be helpful, giving some misinformation mixed in with a lot of good information. And unfortunately, Animal Crossing doesn't have a lore associated with it, so you won't have to listen to me lore vomit all over you for streams and stuff too. But yeah, we're going to transition out of Return to Moria for now. We're going to come back to it for sure at some point. But this is a variety channel, so I'm here to play more games than just this. And I've been saying that from the beginning, so that shouldn't come as a shock to anybody. But I just want to say thank you to everybody who's jumped on the channel from the RTM content. I really appreciate you guys and the support. And I hope you stick around. I hope you stick around for the stuff that is coming next. But yeah, if you are at all familiar with Animal Crossing, I might have been working on something because I have a problem. I might have been working on something as well in Animal Crossing this week. So I may have something to show you next stream. And I do think, despite what I've been working, and we'll talk about it then, but despite what, like, working on some stuff in the game, I really don't want to restart. I really don't want to restart, but I think we're going to start a new island and go through that whole, like, race to 3 to 5 stars or whatever it is and work our way back up, because I think that'll be the best thing to do to get us set for the Animal Crossing DLC that is coming in January. I believe it's January 15th. I'm not on a promotional team for Nintendo, but I can tell you guys that it's coming. And I'm excited about it because, again, more stuff. It's going to be more stuff. It's going to be more content within Animal Crossing, which we've all been fiending for years at this point. So yeah, so I want to have some fun with the game, get reacclimated to it, and then when that DLC drops, have some fun with that for as long as that lasts. It might not be this huge thing, But yeah, so we'll be through December through January, I think, for the next couple months. And we've been with RTM for about 3 months now. So I think Animal Crossing deserves a little bit of time. And then, of course, depending on how that goes, we always have Horizon Forbidden West up next in the queue. And I'm always accepting suggestions, you guys. So throw stuff in the comments, throw stuff in the community tab in response to things that I post, asking for suggestions. Let me know if there's any games you really want to see me play, you want to see me try. I tend to prefer to stream games I've already played so that I have that familiarity with them and I feel a little bit of confidence to actually show them and perform them for you. But I am willing to try new things. I really am. And especially if we're just messing around. So if you got something that's got a demo and you just want me to play the demo, like, just throw it at me. Give me suggestions. All the games that I'm going to play that are in my queue right now have been around for years. I don't have anything really brand new on the horizon. If I get a Switch 2 and Age of Imprisonment for Christmas, maybe we'll give that a go. I'm not sure, but I don't have anything else really in the wings of any developers or companies that are dropping games that I'm super waiting for. If Nintendo remasters Twilight Princess for the Switch 2, the whole world is going to stop while I play that. But yeah, there's not a whole lot of things that are just waiting for me to play. So anyways, throw the suggestions. Right now the lineup is from RTM. We're going to transition to Animal Crossing next. So next week we're going to start fresh with a new game. And then after the Animal Crossing kind of fulfills its fun time, we'll transition into Forbidden West. That's the plan for now. It can always change. Face hot takes are always fun. Oh, it's always a good time, no matter what I'm playing, right? So anyways, lots of words. It's okay. It's Friday. It's Friday. Right? Yes, it's Friday, and I'm on Thanksgiving vacation, so going late is absolutely fine. And thank you guys for bearing with me for the occasional mute. And I've done okay. I've only had a couple of official coughing fits, so I'm grateful for that. But thank you for bearing with the sickness with it. The canceled stream on Monday. Guess what? Oh no, chicken butt. Guess what? Chicken butt. Hey Faith, guess what? I got through the stream. Yeah, I was just talking about that. I'm like, yes, it's been so bad. It's been so bad. So, yeah, all the words. Just having a hard time getting out of here because I'm trying to make sure nobody has questions or whatever. So, anyways, thank you to Pedagogue, Cursed, Kathleen, Cal, Darius, and Hazard for being in the live chat tonight. Thank you guys for hanging out, for chatting. I appreciate it. It's always good to have company. I hope I see you guys again. I know I still Cursed and Kathleen for sure. But I hope I see you other guys for other games. It'd be really fun to share them with you. And yeah, thanks again to the VOD watchers. If you've made it this far, I think we're going on 2.5. Oh my gosh, almost 3 hours. We're 10 minutes short of 3 hours. I hope you guys got through the whole stream. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you got some good information. And that it was helpful for you. So yeah, so that's what's up and that's what's happening. So I will see you guys on Monday. Barring any weirdness. I am starting a new job soon. Like I said at the top of the stream, I have a few weeks though. And there may be some weird transitional stuff, but we'll handle that as it comes. But yeah, so I'll see you on Monday. And we're going to play some Animal Crossing. And I'm going to post a fresh schedule with the new game content in the community tab for you guys. So I think that's it. I think I'm going to go. I think that's it. I appreciate all of you. Thank you so much for hanging out, being here. Thank you for playing this game, for encouraging me to play this game, and every wonderful thing that's happened with it. Cursed, thank you so much for being an amazing mod. I appreciate all of you guys. Happy time zones, right? Have a great rest of your day, whatever that means for you. I will see you next time, and until then... Bye!